has this thing where he calls it editing mode. It's where he actually doesn't eat or sleep or go to the bathroom for extended periods of time. It's kind of weird, and a lot of us here in the office have been worried about him because he literally will not eat or drink or sleep. He'll be here 24 hours a day if we let him. So we do have to send him home sometimes. But since we got that Pepsi throwback fridge from New Era, it's made things a lot easier for him.
Dane, you have not drinking Pepsi in 4 hours. Dane.
Go to newair.com and use the code Levi50OFF to receive $50 off your very own Pepsi throwback fridge.
Hey, is that us? Oh my goodness.
Man.
All right, well, welcome aboard.
We're actually live. What's fun is
Yeah.
Anthony, you've sealed that so tight that you're starting to breathe inside your mask, which is not what you want to do.
What? No, I'm good.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm actually totally fine. So, yeah, this has been a fantastic introduction here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it getting foggy inside your guys'
I think we're okay.
No,
I think
that's
we'll
what
be
I'm
all
saying.
right.
I think you're using yours wrong because you've tightened it too tight.
No, I don't know
Dane,
about that.
you don't even actually have a filter on yours.
Oh, I wonder why mine looked different than yours. Huh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay. Well, I built up an immunity by having that Montero. I think,
That's true. You
I
did,
think
did bring
I'll
in
be
a lot
okay.
of mold
yeah,
and things
well,
like that. So.
I'm sure that was the least of it.
Getting straight into this.
Welcome to Q&A Thursdays, where we answer your detailing questions, as well as kind of chat around and have some fun towards the fun half, which is the second half of the Q&A here. So taking these masks off, these things are very, very nice. Shout out to which company sent
We're
these
not
out?
going to talk. We don't want anybody knowing about them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
All right. Sounds
Save them
good.
all for ourselves.
Fun,
Oh
super
yeah,
secret.
correct.
Nice.
Yeah. We definitely need these for when the time comes. So we are answering questions today. We're hanging out.
Yeah.
It's been a very eventful week, right? Needless to say, everywhere else in the world as well as here at the Rag Company. We've been
Yeah,
very busy.
well, not only are we busy, but it's just a great time to be alive. A lot of fun, a lot of great things happening. Summer's coming, spring's coming around the corner. It's starting to warm up in Boise, which is really great.
Oh, yeah.
We got Dylan Von Kleist coming next week, so he'll be here for the live
Yes.
Q&A.
Yes,
so
he
next
will.
Thursday, tune in, get DVK in the house.
That's going to be busy.
That'll be fun. But yeah, so next day, Nate. He's having a heck of a time over there.
I feel like he should have been in here. People want him in here.
Well, we talked to him. He's pretty sad.
oh,
He just found out they closed Disneyland.
oh,
Wow.
He earlier, not even an hour ago, he was crying at his desk because the NHRA was possibly going to be canceled. They canceled the
Jeez.
NASCAR season. He had tickets for him and his lovely bride and his father to attend a NASCAR game.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen,
Yeah.
So if
I've
you
heard a
could,
lot of
I want you
places-
guys to send your condolences to Nate at the Rag Company. Just let reach out, little next day fam. Give him a little pat on the back and let him know everything's gonna be okay. So
I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, sorry for looking like I was posting on my phone. I was actually posting on the brand new the Rag Company podcast Instagram page.
Oh, finally,
and I was
we
sharing
made it.
to the story. So it's official. Guys, gals, everybody, get out there. Follow that because we're going to use it in the future to help promote timely things that have to do with the podcast.
And maybe fun pictures, things.
And the live
stories,
Q&A is part of the podcast.
things like
So
that.
as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, it all ties back together.
You guys probably wonder where Morgan is. She had to bounce out. She
Yep.
had an appointment today. So
Things
you
to
get
do,
the three of
people to
us
see.
here, which is always a good time.
Yeah.
And jumping right into it, Yvonne LaCroix, who literally left us on Monday.
Yeah.
He hasn't been gone more than a
Yeah.
few days.
Wants to know, does Dixon make flannel seat covers for Rangers?
Only one way to find out.
Ah, we could try it. Ivan, they do. They have their trucks, their Dixon flannel C10 Chevy pickups
Ooh.
that they used Dixon flannel material for the center sections of the seats.
C10s are like the default choice
Pretty
for
cool.
people who want to be cool.
Well, Dane, it's not the default choice. It is the only choice.
It's
So,
kind of the default choice. Where are the
Sharika.
Ford F100s at?
Rumor says Yvonne walks on water. That is true. He's pretty good at walking on puddles of water and
Yeah.
Floating.
floating pretty well. So
His dapper, demeanor and
Yeah.
appearance keep him going.
our homie Hector from High End Auto Detail. Hector, Ivan from Puerto Rico, pre-claying during wash with a clay alternative clay disc, then claying with the clay bar afterwards. Helps or a waste of time? Less contamination on the clay bar? Thanks. So, Hector, that is less contamination on the clay bar. But really the only thing it's going to help is if you miss some tighter edges that maybe the clay disc or clay mitt or pad or whatever didn't really get into, you'll be able to clay those little areas and stuff. Just depends on that. So also wanting to know, using an iron remover, wait until it reacts and then foam the car while the iron remover is still on the surface, and wash and clay the car is efficient, or there's another way. You can clay right over the iron remover after it's reacted.
Simple enough.
And then and then funny, his first order to the Rag Company was May 27th, 2015. And I think it was because Hector purchased the old Knight Rider towel, the sexy towel.
Yeah.
I actually gave him one when I was at Mobile Tech about 4 years ago. So,
Wow.
and then again, awesome how this company's grown. I met Levi here in Puerto Rico at the Rupes training. I met Ivan at MTE in 2017. Hope one day meet the other people there. We actually met at Mobile Tech in 2016. Hector.
Wow.
So, Dan
One by
Pfeiffer, word up from cloudy, rainy Minneapolis. What products and process do you recommend to strip tires of any previous dressing coating protections? Looking to get all the junk off and start over. Dude, just power clean. 3-to-1,
Yeah.
foam it on, call it good. EXEY, quick clean. Does the Rag Company have a distributor in Canada? Brokerage and custom fees are no fun. We have about 4 different distributors or resellers in Canada. You just go to
Yes.
theragcompany.com, and the upper top listing, it says distributors, the very top of the page. Also, at the very bottom of the page, it says distributors. Click on that, click the country, and it'll tell you, and it'll send you links exactly to
You have
where
a
you need
list
to
of
go.
everybody who sells our stuff.
Yep.
You missed up here.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Another one. So,
Best
back
way
to
to
Hector.
know.
Best way to know for sure there's nothing on the surface before polishing a ceramic coated car. Seems like prep products like Guion and Eraser do not remove all the oils from polish. Best ratio on OPC for foam can, and how long should it dwell? I know not to leave in glass. Want to remove traffic film. Any previous wax protectors does leave a residue.
he's getting them all out.
Man, a lot of stuff. So, on prep agents, let it dwell on the surface for a little bit. Let it do its work. Then wipe it off. You can always do it a second time. Should be able to get most of it. That's right before you're going to coat. As to removing everything again, getting all the fallout and everything on there, yeah, you're going to have to let it sit. So, I'd let it dwell for a bit, depending on if you're foaming it, if you're spraying it on. You know, really, I used to spray it on with like a weed sprayer,
Yeah.
and I just spray it on, let it sit for a bit, and then and it was everything from like the windows down.
Yeah.
And so I'd leave the windows alone. I'd just hit the main panels, the hood, the roof, and I'd let that sit for a bit, and then I'd rinse it off. So you don't have to agitate that. You can let that stuff do its work,
Yeah.
and then go from there. So.
Yeah.
Yep, Dan Pfeiffer says traffic film, industrial file out of the desk, the killer of every detail. MMA card guy, Anthony.
There we go. So MMA Guitar Guy says, hey, y'all. I was going to do a one-step on my champagne-colored Sierra. Dane had a champagne-colored car once. Using a CG 5-inch DA, was going to do TLC with a Rupa's yellow foam. Would I be better to add hyper polish and do two-step? If so, which pads then? So breaking it down here, on the Chemical Guy's 5-inch DA, right? I believe that's a shorter throw polisher, meaning you're having, I want to say it's roughly an 8mm throw, if I remember correctly. So you don't have to use the Rupa's yellow foam, because that Rupa's yellow foam is actually designed for a long throw pad. I'm not saying that it wouldn't work, but you would probably benefit from just using just a normal flat pad. Or
a CCS.
Or a CCS if you wanted to go that route. So basically, you could go a flat pad with orange, would probably be fine, or you can go a flat pad with yellow. I would say orange is probably a little bit more versatile. So you can hit with TLC and do a one-step that way. And if you wanted to do a hyper polish, you could follow up hyper polish with a green pad, or just do orange again, because you're going to have a kind of a pad-dependent cut with TLC, having like a medium-ish cut, and then going to hyper polish on an orange pad, you're going to have a very, very, very light cut. So Levi's over here making some pretty amazing things here. Honestly, taking what I would consider cookie crackers to the next level, combining an EL fudge with a Nutter Butter double butter.
EL fudge double stuffed.
So it's it's always good when you stuff things twice.
It's quad now.
So Jeff C says, "Hey guys, I'm planning to apply crystal sealant on my summer wheels. Going to clean them with fault remover and power clean. Would paint prep be a good final step before applying crystal sealant?" You can, absolutely. Or you can use an isopropyl alcohol. Honestly, most of the prep work that goes into any of the WOWO stuff and all of our testing, as well as Fraser's testing over in Scotland, has always just been an isopropyl alcohol mix. So you can do a 50-50 mix of 90% or 70% and just do distilled water and alcohol, and do a prep wipe before jumping into your final protection. But WOWO's doesn't have a specific paint prep at this time, so we've always just said isopropyl would do the deal, or any other paint prep. So George Zapata says, hello from rainy day from San Clemente. So
what's up, man?
George, what's going on? Hopefully weather clears up. Wrecked Panhandle says, sup guys, what's your go-to method for WOWO's fallout remover?
You spray it on, let it sit.
I was going to say, I don't think there's any particular
just like any other fallout remover.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong. You guys are all wrong.
And scrub it.
Nope.
Oh, boy.
What is
Nope.
it?
I foam it. I foam it.
Oh,
you love
okay.
the
Well,
foam.
yeah, he foams.
So, like,
it,
you guys
You're
can
a foam
spray
man.
it. Your fingers are going to get tired.
Dane,
right?
Would you grab me one of those
Sure.
zero sugar Pepsi Maxes from the New Air fridge, please?
Yes, sir.
It's a Pepsi throwback fridge.
honestly,
courtesy of our friends at New Air.
Yeah, it looks awesome whenever we open that thing and
Looks
pull out a delicious Pepsi.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Feels
dude,
like quality.
I am literally going to die laughing from the first person that orders this same throwback fridge. The second we get a picture,
If you buy one, send us a picture.
Please do.
like, dude,
If you use
it's
the code
awesome.
Levi50 off, please.
if you
Show us
send
where you use it.
So if you make that happen, we will have Tim put your picture of you and your fridge in the corner of the screen here for an entire Q&A episode,
Well,
because that's how
even
awesome
this.
that is.
Also, if you do, I will throw in maybe a bottle of WOWO's Quick Detailer
Oh wow!
and a couple towels
Ooh.
to
Wow.
keep your fridge looking sharp.
Wow,
He's not
and
wrong.
he's that's coming out of his paycheck. He's willing to do that, but that would be
But
like
I gotta
will
see
literally,
a receipt or an order invoice, a picture of you with the fridge and where you put it in
dude.
your
I
house.
will die. I will be so.
I'm gonna take out a wild prediction. It's gonna be Hans or Luke.
Dude, I don't think Hans can get his hands on that. So
He can't get his Hans on that.
So rectangle. So I foam the fallout remover with great results. So I typically foam it. You can foam it 7-to-1 or 10-to-1 if you're trying to save some product. You'll still get a lot of the same effects. Or you can just put it in a multi-sprayer, or you can spray it. It's like I said, the sprayers are great on those. So I feel like they have a really good, coverage. So if you want to go about it that way, you can. But that's typically what we do. So Jerry Joseph says, is Quadot still wool dangerous at all to automotive glass?
No, we've used it tons of times, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at our
I'm gonna
East Coast travel
I'm going to
vlog,
say
use it on that
100,000 million times. I've
Wow.
used it many, many times for many years. It's not going to hurt your glass.
many times.
Richard Jones says, hello, TRC, watching all the way from Northern Ireland.
Thank you,
ever,
Richard.
You ever
Appreciate
been
it.
here?
No, we haven't.
No.
We
would
made
love
it as
to.
far as Scotland. That's
Yeah.
about how far we've made
So
it.
I would love to go, Richard, back to the homeland is what that is. So I found
30% of me is Irish.
out. So I was like 4, but I was 1% Scottish or something like
You're
that.
4% Irish?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So I remember it was a very small percentage.
33%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Primarily Norwegian, Scottish, and Irish. So hey,
Dane, you need to do the actual DNA
then we need to
test.
actually find
Yeah,
out what you are.
Yeah.
And
Because what if he's like completely off? And he's
yeah.
like 100%
Turns out
Russian.
I'm
and
totally
the whole time
Russian.
he's
yeah.
like been like,
I was kind of hoping he'd be South African.
amazing. So
That'd be
Interesting.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
That's a tricky accent, is what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
it's like me, Dane. Like I kept saying, I'm Irish Mexican.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm
Until
only
you
a
found
third
out.
Irish, and I'm only like 8% Mexican. The rest of me is all Scandinavian.
Just doesn't make any sense because his mom, guys, she is Mexican. Like she is. Like there is just
Apparently,
there
she is
is-
mostly Scandinavian and Mexican, and like 14% Mexican.
So-
She's not even a full quarter.
which doesn't make any sense. So
full quarter.
We have car detailing by Pat Inc. says, thanks Anthony for the drawing of a picture of my Honda. Pat,
Nice.
I am so sorry. It was not my best work, but it was what I could do with the little time I had. Normally, I would take a little bit more time with drawing Hondas because that's my go-to. So, but hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully, maybe hang on the fridge or something for a little bit.
Well.
Future Prison says, favorite time of the week. This is the Cars Parency show with Dane. Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
boy.
good morning, TRC crew.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to us.
Kirby Thompson, ozone generators. How long do they need to run to be effective? Time to offer that service to the public with all these issues? No, but Kirby, it is a good thing to have. Technically, you can just cleaning and disinfecting a vehicle is the best thing you can do. Now, all that you're going to be doing with a ozone generator is getting in all the little leftover nooks and crannies that maybe you didn't get with the detail.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it to remove scent, so a particular smell, like a smoke smell or something, that time can vary. But if you cycle it through the heating or cooling system, the HVAC system in the car, realistically, running it for maybe 45 minutes to an hour is enough to kill basically everything that's in it.
Yeah.
It's not enough to fully remove a bad smell, like maybe milk or cigarettes or something. That you're going to need to run for a much longer period. So, and those vary based on the car. Varies on how long it was, in the vehicle or, how it was cleaned. What I usually like to do is clean a car first, make sure it was fully shampooed and cleaned and scrubbed and all the fabrics were clean. And then I'd let it dry
Yeah.
with the windows cracked out and on like a sunny day and you're in Texas, shouldn't be a problem. And then I would then put in the ozone machine. And I usually always ask the customers to leave the car overnight if I was doing any ozone service. Whether it took me an hour or it took me 8, it gave me a window to where I could at least try and get the car done before like lunchtime, let it dry out from noon to 3,
Yeah.
then put the ozone machine in from like 3 to 4,
And then sit in the car.
and then don't get in the car.
don't do that. You're gonna have a
Yeah,
bad
don't
time.
do
Don't be
that.
in the car when an ozone machine is on because it removes all the oxygen and converts it to ozone. You will not be able to breathe.
Yep.
So what I usually would do
gonna
is I
have a
would
bad
let
time.
it run for about an hour, turn it off, open the doors, and let it naturally air out. Open all 4 doors. Then, right before closing time, I would pull it into the shop and I would check. They have my guys, we'd all play find the smell. And if we could still smell something, then it was putting the ozone machine in for 2 to 4 hours on a timer.
No.
Wow.
And then I usually had a night shift guy that came in and he would work. And before he'd leave, I'd ask him, give me a call, tell me what you think. And then we would make the decision to run it another 4 hours. Now, the car was not running at this point. We only ran it through the system for about an hour because that usually took care of it. But there's nothing, an ozone process is a really great way to kill a lot of bacteria and a lot of viruses in the air and a lot of stuff like that very quickly.
Yeah, very good.
So good. It's a good thing to do, and something that you can then tout to a lot of your customers.
It's a good time to have one if you already have one.
Yeah,
Dane.
Dadalick.
Dane.
Dadlick.
I'm sorry, what?
Dadlick. Dadlick. I love the masks.
41.98.
Glad he
At least
enjoys
get the
it.
full name
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Ivan says, "Hey, nice stickers on the mics." Yeah, some dude was here last week and put them all on here.
Very
Yeah,
insistent.
some
yes.
guy just wouldn't let it go here. So Thomas Cruz says, yes, the masks were a nice start intro.
Thanks,
They were.
Anthony. What's your process on watching the Evo? Rectangle wants to know your process when you're watching your
When
Evo.
I'm watching it, I usually, let's just say I set up a lawn chair. I sit in it.
A couple of Modelo's.
Crack open a couple Modelos. Typically, I really like the Chilada Picante is my favorite type of Modelo.
The spicy chiller.
Oh, I love those. And then I sit down, I kind of crack it up, and I start to watch it.
Yeah.
And just, if it moves...
How do you know when you're done?
If it moves, usually it's not a good sign.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, and sometimes it breathes. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, you sit there and you kind of forget. And you're like, I think that car's breathing.
sometimes I'll hear like a ting. Somewhere in the car, you'll hear like a random ting. You're like, what's that sound? Like, what's that?
Could be a ghost. You don't know.
Who knows? On a serious note, how I wash it, it's a rather in-depth and very boring process, but I'll just sum it up very, very fast.
Well, he doesn't drive it first, so it sits in the garage. So it
Yeah.
only ever gets a light coating of garage dust.
He just cleans a slightly dusty car
Sometimes he takes the car apart and
Right.
puts it back together.
Yeah.
because
Just for
sometimes
fun.
you have to do that when dust finds its way
Well,
in.
yeah. Keep it clean.
So I would say that the whole process is typically bucket, 5-gallon bucket, full of O&R. I throw roughly 7 Eagle Edgeless in there. And then what I do is I pre-spray the car with O&R. And I do the whole outside of the car first. So basically pre-spray, take one towel of the bucket, fold it into fourths, do my wipes. I can typically do the whole car with 7 towels. I don't introduce the towels back into the bucket, so it's kind of like the single towel method, more the multi-towel method. Pull it out, flip it as necessary. I rarely get to it. The car's coated with OptiCoat Pro Plus. I very rarely will I get anything on there that I can't get off. I can almost always get it off. And so go around the car, pulling one towel out of the bucket at a time, wiping through the whole entire thing. And then I set the towels aside after I'm done. And then at the end of that, I have a fresh bucket of wheel cleaning, O&R, that I can now use. So that's when I typically fill that up with a couple brushes, a couple of minks, and then I have power clean usually hanging from the side. I'll hit the wheels with power clean, hit the fender wells or anything like that, go through, knock out the wheel wells, the wheels, the mud flaps, and then re-rinse the area with O&R. And then what I'll typically do is, it's kind of counterproductive, but I just like this process better. Sorry. I will respray.
I'm giving him his chance,
I will
man.
respray just a little bit of O&R
I
on
am
the
too, it's
surface.
fine.
And then I will use a drying aid. So I'll use, like lately I've been using Willow's Quick Detailer. Use that as a drying aid with a platinum pluffle. Go over the whole car. And then after I've dried it, that's when I blow dry out all the cracks, right? Some people say, well, why don't you blow dry it first, right? And then clean up all the cracks and stuff like that. I like to blow dry it second.
I do too, because you got to go over it twice.
Because I'd have to re-wipe areas anyways. So I just do it that way, and I'm actually exactly 3 years in now in OptiCoat Pro Plus, and I have not inflicted one swirl, one mar, one scratch. And when I say I'm wearing a skin grip headlamp when I'm doing this, right? So that's how crazy I am.
Yep.
I'm telling you that this method, I do not. You could take it to take a microscope to the car. You're not going to find anything, and it's pretty nice. But is it worth the headache and the struggle and the craziness? Absolutely not.
Question.
Yes.
Do you take Katie out for dinners on Friday night, Saturday night, maybe date night? Take the car out, put her in it, go for a drive?
No, she doesn't like to go in the car.
Oh.
She doesn't like it. No, she literally, she never complained, and then eventually she was just like, you know what? She's like, the car's really loud and blah, 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 and you're super weird about it. And she's like, it's just not fun to go inside. And I say, okay. Well, but then I put her in the Civic. I say, well, jump in the Civic, right? It's just the same crap. This car is really low. Oh my gosh! Do you have to take everything at an angle like that? Why do you have to do it at an angle like that? And I said, we're in a slammed Honda Civic. This is the lifestyle. And she's like, let's just take the 4Runner from now on pretty much everything. So
But that is the
Harley's-
mindset of a
Harley's-
non-car person
Harley's the
and a
same
car
way.
person.
yeah,
The Camry, even though it's got big wheels, it's not lowered.
yeah.
She's like, just take a Camry everywhere. I'm like, I don't, what? Yeah.
Dude, I'm happy about it. I don't have.
She
any
doesn't
pro- I don't
drive the
have- I don't have
Elantra,
any
but she doesn't
problems.
want me, like, when I had the moon discs on there,
Yeah,
she doesn't like them on there. She's like, I don't want to be seen with that. I'm like, it's the Elantra, like, I'm driving it. I've been driving it for, I've now owned it personally.
I'm just going to be
Longer than
bold and
you
say,
drove
if
it.
it's your car, you get to make the decision.
Right, but I've
how
owned
it goes.
it. I've been the one to drive it longer than she owned it for 6 years, right? I've had it for 8 now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. But the Suburban, I was worried that she would be like, oh, too big, too much gas. She loves riding in that thing.
yeah.
So
It's all about, can I drive at a parking embankment and not
No.
run into it, but rather go over it? If my vehicle can do that, then these non-car people go, yeah, that's fine. Whereas it's like, oh, you have to take it at an angle or something, or dodge speed bumps, or like navigate a parking lot with forward thinking that, oh, I can't go that way. That one dips. Something like that.
Anyways, we got Fletcher says, "Hey again, guys. Last week flushed the B350's cooling system, only to have the water pump fail immediately after. Time to overhaul the van's cooling system now. The van will actually be super cool."
nice.
Does he mean E350, maybe?
No, he's got a Dodge Ram van.
B.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's got a Ram van.
And we got a Dadlick 4198 says, "What is your favorite ceramic coating for someone new to coatings?" Levi, go.
Oh,
One answer. Go. 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 Go.
Gloss coat?
Go. Dane, go.
I mean,
go.
that
go,
would be my
go,
answer, too.
Go. Me too. Gloss coat. New,
Boom.
easiest ceramic coating for somebody that's new to ceramic coatings. There you go. And here we go. We have Fletcher says, "But more importantly, tell me how you might use a foam cannon and OPT's Ferrex in conjunction. Thanks again."
Easy. Just mix up some Ferrex 1-to-1 with some
Yeah,
water
you can do 1-to-1, yeah.
and put it in the foam cannon and foam it. That's it.
Dead simple.
Easy.
Ivan, the guy below you, loves doing that.
Yep.
Yep.
Ivan says Anthony eating on camera isn't very polite, but Fletch.
Ivan, we have snacks constantly here. This is
Yeah.
what we do on Q&As.
Yeah. Fletch, if you go to Dane's Jag Venture video, you'll see Ivan foaming
Yeah.
Ferrex on the Jag.
And I did have a funny
And playing
conversation
it, too.
with some folks over Facebook who insisted that Ivan did something wrong. And then when I explained, no, Ivan does certain things, quote unquote, wrong on purpose because he knows some internet sniper is going to call it out, and it turned into a thing. Well, when he did the Ferrex on my Jag, he wanted to, get people a little bit stirred up. So he just let the Ferrex dry on the paint in the sun.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yep.
It was fine. Whereas other people are like, you wouldn't treat my car that way. It's like, it was totally fine. When he was done, it was
yeah, the paint
absolutely
didn't melt
okay.
off from the Jag for a week later. So it
Right.
was
I
actually-
mean,
Yeah,
he was already gone.
by that point, he totally bounced out of town.
Yeah. I'm the OB. Any detailing specific products for disinfecting interiors outside of Lysol wipes? Steam. What would you suggest for this, considering everything going on in real time? So steam is extremely effective. Microfiber is extremely effective. You don't need to use Lysol wipes. You can use a regular 80/20 microfiber towel. It will remove 99.9% of all bacteria on the surface with just water alone.
Remove, not kill. Remove.
Steam on the surface will also kill bacteria. Now, there are a number of different products, but any of the cleaning products, interior cleaning products you're going to be using, whether it's WOWO's interior cleaner or Express interior cleaner,
Yeah.
heck, even O&R will clean and remove and disinfect the surface. You want to get a little crazier with that, you could even spray something like Terminator, or
I gotta say, I really like G-Technics TriClean.
you could, or even G-Technics TriClean.
Yeah.
Those are also technically disinfectants.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you could put those on a towel, you could wipe your surfaces, but in reality, you're already going to be disinfecting it with just the interior cleaner using and a microfiber towel.
Yeah.
Now, we do have silver infused microfiber that is nothing fancy, 12/12s and 16/16s, gray with a red or green stripe.
It feels and looks like relatively normal microfiber
like a
towels,
regular towel.
but they're marked a little differently so that you know they're the silver
Now,
infused
they have
ones.
silver infused thread, as well as being embedded or imbibed or imbued with a antimicrobial.
Yeah.
That antimicrobial kills the bacteria left in the towel. So you're going to be able to clean and disinfect, but what's going to be great is that that if you leave that towel sitting in your pile of laundry, it's also going to disinfect and kill the bacteria in that towel.
Yeah,
And
within 24 hours.
Within
it
I
will.
24
I really
hours.
want to point out, because there's definitely going to be
Yeah,
some
the
folks
towel's
out
not the towel's
The
not.
towel
an
is magic.
there. Okay, no.
It is imbued, as
there,
you have said.
there are people out
Imbued.
there who will
It's
hear
embedded.
this and see this and scream, "Oh my God, what a bunch of BS! Towels can't do that."
No,
But
microfiber can't.
what I
That's
want
the
to
normal
address
fact
is
of microfiber.
go to the silver infused towel listing on our website, theradcompany.com. Type in silver infused in the search box. Pull it up. On the listing, you will find actual scientific research.
Well, we had a third-party lab create and do independent testing.
Verify.
Because when we were selling these, well, when we started selling these towels, our plan originally was sell them to hospitals.
They're for around
and
the
nursing
house and
homes.
for
These are a
institutions like that.
Great towel for that purpose, for sanitary, janitorial stuff. And that was the purpose of it. Now, that is a great towel because I bought 5 of them the other day, took them home, wiped down all my countertops, wiped down all my doorknobs, wiped down all my touch points with just a little O&R in a bottle,
And it's reusable.
cleaned everything, and then
Yeah.
threw it in the laundry. Like,
I'm going to need you to turn down that light. I just realized how bright that light is.
you are much
compared-
brighter than me.
Yeah, I am. I'm realized that thing was cranked up all
It
the
is
way.
cranked up all the way.
Oh, no wonder.
Let's bring it down. Yeah,
Dane,
there we
Dane,
go.
was that you?
No,
blinding me?
he turned that on. I turned
I
on
didn't
this
turn-
one.
I didn't turn this on.
Oh my! Because I was
Didn't-
sitting
oh,
here.
Nick did then. Okay.
I was sitting
never
here. I'm
mind.
like, dude, my eyes are drying out right now, man. Like I'm like sitting here, like I think I
look
got
out.
something.
He's just
you're-
staring into the sun.
I think you're
that's
actually
all.
sunburned now.
Oh my god, that makes literally the biggest difference.
So,
Oh man.
so the silver infused is phenomenal, but steam and just general 80-20 microfibers are actually doing plenty of work and are removing a lot of stuff. So you can add if you want, just to provide that. There are other companies out that do provide that actually provide different disinfectants and things like that that you can then put on surfaces. Those are great products. I don't have them all off the top of my head, but like I said, G-Technics TriClean has,
But yeah, I mean, that's
has
the
but-
frankly the beauty of getting towels from a place like us, where we don't just carry auto detailing stuff. If you get stuff from an auto detailing place, you wouldn't have silver infused towels as an option generally, because
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a purpose to have them in
Yep.
the lineup. But we cover
And
all
they're
the bases.
inexpensive.
So yeah, no,
very inexpensive.
Inexpensive.
Yeah.
Anthony on another ASMR snack session.
Always.
I'm the OB.
Christopher Beard
Always.
says, "Got a new car.
Nice.
It's
Congrats.
a
2020.
It's a wow, awesome. Christopher Beard has just been killing it. You know what
Just
I'm
been
saying?
killing it.
Everything
Tell
from
us about when he
new
didn't have a
jobs,
job, to getting a job, to
promotions, to training,
to trainings.
to getting. Now he's got.
Now he's got a Civic.
New
He's
car.
He's driving a brand new car. And
Congratulations,
that is-
Chris. That's awesome.
If that isn't
feels good.
success
It feels
before
like
you-
we've been able to come along with you on that success of yours.
Yeah.
And we'd like to hope that maybe it's because of us.
I don't think it is. I think that he's just a go-getter, but I think he's just sharing his success with us, and I think it really just makes a big
I
difference.
appreciate him sharing the
Yes.
success
Thank
that we
you,
helped
Chris,
him
for
achieve.
sharing.
So with a 2020 Civic hatch, I do car inspections for my work and ended up with different car fluids on my hands throughout the day. Product suggestion for frequent steering wheel cleaning, it is leather. Frequent cleaning.
Frequent cleaning. So,
Safer
here's
is better.
One thing you can do. You can grab a couple towels and just Wool's leather cleaner
Yeah.
and spray a little bit on the towel and just wipe the towel. If that's what you want to do, that's the easiest way. Remember, you're only bringing the pH back. You're going
Yeah.
to bring it back to neutral. Now, another way you can do that is Color Lock. You can reach out to them, email Color Lock. They make wipes,
They do.
leather wipes that are in single little packs. You can buy like a 10-pack or 20-pack, I think, of them. And just keep those in your center console.
That's probably what I
And
would do, man.
those are just they're leather wipes. They're
Yeah.
leather cleaner. It's like mild leather cleaner in there, and it's just a wipe, pre-moistened wipe. And maybe every Friday when you get in your car after the work week, you run that around the steering wheel and clean it. I actually used one that I got from SEMA. I used it on the Suburban this weekend.
Yeah.
Just gave it a good little wipe down.
So
Felt
I
great
would
today
say
when I drove
that,
it.
I mean, arguably, I would say that probably WOA's leather cleaner is going to be stronger than probably the mild leather cleaner from Color Lock, arguably. I'm not sure. But all I know is that the mild is so safe for everyday use. And
doing it that much.
That Lars literally uses it to clean his hands after training.
Yeah.
Right? So he trains a lot. So I would almost say that going like the mild leather cleaner in wipe form or just as a
really
product.
just having it, it's a little pump sprayer.
Yeah.
So you just put a little bit of foam in your towel and
put it in your glove box, and then just wipe over, or just make sure that your hands are getting as clean as possible before you jump in the car.
Yeah.
Or wear driving gloves. Edmund Iverson says, "Greetings, gentlemen, from Viral Dayton."
Oh, very nice.
Sorry, bud.
Got some dried high spots from gloss coat application that I did about a month ago on my own car. Best practice for removing those high spots, and he says he loves me some yellow fudge and Nutter Butters.
Attaboy. So, Ed, biggest things, if you noticed it when you were applying it, gloss coat's easy enough. You could just reapply over the top of it.
Even after a
And
little
it'll
while, you still
wipe
could've.
off. You could try that first, but reality, your second situation, you'd probably just need to pull out the polisher, hit it with a very light polish, work just that section that high spot's in, and then clean it, prep it, recoat it. That's it.
Yeah.
Very
It's
simple.
easy enough to use. It shouldn't
Yeah.
take you a lot of time.
Christopher Horton, have you ever tried Nutter Butters with Nutella? Truly amazing.
So I
We
haven't
call those
done that.
Nutter Butters.
No.
Have you, do they called them back in college?
No, it's just what my friends call them.
I didn't know.
I had a couple buddies who were obsessed with
Yeah.
Nutellas.
Yeah.
Or
Arbor Day-
Nutella
at the
in
Arbor
general.
Day parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arbor Day
I was on the
parties.
Nutter Butter circuit, busy times.
Where is
Children's
G, where
birthday
is
parties,
G
I don't know.
Davis? He's missing some good stuff. Hans Closen says, "Hey guys, where's our little sister? She is out for the day."
Out.
And then he says, "Hey, cannot order the fridge. No international shipping." That was on the website. ... Wait a minute. So he might be
I love
coming
it.
home with a new fridge.
Riga Cologne, hey guys from PR, watching you guys munching on those Keeblers got me hungry. Oreos will have to do for the time being. There you go, man.
I wonder, so for example, I wonder if we help people on their diets because of the snacks that we eat, or if we make it worse, right?
No.
Because like
Well, I was going to get soda, and Anthony's like, "We need snacks," and I said,
I'm
"I don't
on a
think we
diet,
need,
and this
I
just
don't-
ruined it.
I don't
Yeah.
think we need snacks." And then I saw these, and I thought, "Oh, okay, we gotta get
Dude,
those."
it just this 2-hour run, going back and thinking about the time when we didn't have any type of snack to get us
Oh, it's
through.
hard.
It's hard. Like when we leave here, we are hungry, we're thirsty, but now
Well,
having
it's
this
because
stuff,
you don't have editing mode.
I can sit here for like 5 hours and correct it. I don't
We're
have
normal
that ability.
normal humans, Dane.
Here we go. So Edmund Ivers says, "Hey, my
we can't all be
silver-infused
perfect.
Yeah.
microfiber, along with some other goodies, ordered just arrived from TRC right now. It's like I'm there in Idaho."
Nice.
Hi, Ed.
Oh, congratulations.
Love it.
I actually made a post. It was meant to be for friends and family, but a lot of people ended up sharing it about the whole silver-infused microfiber.
Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of people are picking some of that up for their families. And I know a lot of my family, they saw that post.
Yeah. Oh, my family did too. I've shared your post, and my family. My Aunt Sevy now works for Punch Bowl Social Club.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get some cases ordered for a bunch of those restaurants around the country for Punch Bowl.
Very cool.
So hopefully they'll do it.
Oh, the MLB just shut down. So,
Yeah.
So that's the NBA and the MLB
yeah,
now.
and the
Baseball season's over.
and the one. I think that was.
But everybody's outside.
I mean, what they've been doing at other
the
things is just
NHL,
getting
yeah.
rid of the audience and keeping like the players for other stuff or like concerts.
That
They're
was
like,
NCAA.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, though, so I made that post, and what I was not expecting from that, though, is I was expecting my family to say, "Hey, Anthony, I'm going to order it from your website. I'm gonna buy it right now."
Yeah, I'll ask for you
Instead,
to
they
buy
say,
some.
"Can you bring me some next time I see you?" And I'm like, "Listen, Aunt Michelle, I'm not gonna. You live in California. I'm not gonna see you for like another year." And she's like, "It's okay. I'll pay you now." And I'm like, "No, just go to the website and order it.
Yeah.
That makes it easier for everybody." And she's like, "No, I want to see you." I'm like, "No, okay. Here's the deal. I'm not okay." So
that's
I'm
like
not
when
flying.
when I was the only employee here, and I would get people who call on the phone and ask for products and stuff, and I could tell they were not to be ageist or anything, but generally older folks. They would say, "Oh, yeah, I would like this, and then they just start ordering over the phone when we have a website. And I was like trying to direct them. I was like, okay, if you go here on your computer, and they're in front of their computer, and then they'd still insist, like, no, you do this for me this way. It's like, okay, and then you just kind of deal with it.
Yep.
But yeah, after a while, we really try and just make the website work. Thanks.
Richard Jones up in Ireland. I know you guys like Iron Brew and Parma Violets. I love them too. Haha. Dane, I also drive a Volvo S40 SE Sport R Design.
Nice.
Good
I
work,
used to have a
Richard.
Volvo. I've gone through a chain
Dane
of cars
sold it.
recently and gotten a lot of trouble for it. So.
We've never actually tried a Parma.
We haven't tried a Parma Violet though yet. So
Yeah.
we've heard stories about them. It's the one product we haven't because Fraser from Wowo's he said the reason he developed the detailer shampoo to smell like Parma Violets was because that was what his grandmother always had. That was the candy he always ate as a kid. So that's what he
We would love to
Create a
try
scent. We
some.
would love
If
to try
anybody
some.
can get a hold of some and send them out.
So Iban from IK was going to
Yeah.
send us some. So we'll see if we do get some. If not, we were supposed to see IK here in about 2 weeks. We don't know if we're going to be able to see him or not because of the
Yeah.
travel ban that went in effect yesterday. So we'll see what happens.
Here we go. So Thomas Kirby says, thanks, Levi. I really appreciate your experience and business wisdom.
Thanks, Kirby.
And Edmund says, actually, I ordered a pack of 10 16 by 16, but I only got one 16 by 16 silver
no!
infused
What?
pal. Yikes.
That's not good, Ed.
What?
So if it was a 10-pack and the quantity was marked at 1, I can probably see just in the chain
Yeah,
of events
that's-
somebody probably literally just put 1.
Ed, we're
Didn't
gonna,
see the
we're gonna
10-pack
get
and
you
just went
taken
out.
We'll get
care
you
They'll
of.
some-
take care
we'll
of
get
you.
you some
yeah,
new ones here.
totally.
We got Matthew Gibb says, "Good afternoon, boys.
Good
Just
afternoon,
rocked
man.
up to work way early, so watching. What? Just rocked up
nice.
to work way early, so watching. Oh, I get it. It's a it's a saying. So bought myself a 2017 Toyota 86 GTS and picking it up in 8 hours.
Yay!
Car after my own heart there,
Enjoy
Matt. I'm
your
very proud of you.
Man.
your new Toyota.
Oh,
That's-
love that.
I think what color was it, Matt? Do you know? Is it blue, like in your picture there? Like you're a fan of blue cars?
I love that 8.6
Pretty
logo.
good, wasn't it?
That's pretty awesome. That's really, really cool.
Anthony, Counts Customs would like to know what color towel you would like to see in a photo with this car.
Awesome.
I would love to see a purple Eagle 350.
That
They
would
have
be
some of
killer.
those. I think I sent them some lemons as well.
Yeah,
Some lavender.
either ones,
Yeah.
both of them.
All right, I'll let them know.
And then here we go. So I got Table Rock Mobile Detail says, if time or money wasn't a factor, would you say sprayable polished compounds are going to give us the same result as a normal compound polish will give you? So,
Not all polishes and compounds are created equally.
but let's take one for example. Let's take hyper polish, right?
Yeah.
Pretty quick, very fast polish. You can get enough cut on it if you needed after maybe several passes, but it's definitely workable. Now, will that save you time or money in comparison to, let's just say, the industry standard, which, let's just say, McGuire's 205?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, tons of people use it.
McGuire's 205 will give you a decent polish, right, with the trade-off that it will dust and that you need to tape off your trim. So calculate that out, right? The time it takes to tape off your trim or clean up any excessive dust from the compounding or from the polishing process versus hyper polish where you don't have to tape off trim and it is literally a low dusting or no dusting formula.
Dust is a pain, but the taping thing is like a total game changer.
Taping's
for that
a huge
stuff
pain in the
because
butt.
that saves you so much time.
Dust
right
is a
there.
huge pain in the butt. I would say that typically you could probably do double the amount of passes with something like hyper polish that you would be able to do with something.
Well, having spent enough time around you guys when you're working on stuff, I've seen the difference it makes when you're using a product that you choose, which is usually like the Last Cut or one of the Hyper Twins, versus when you're in a situation where you just have to use what's available and maybe it's not something you're necessarily a huge fan of, but it's more traditional.
Yeah.
And it's
So
time difference is huge.
I would say that, yeah. I mean, I'd say hyper compound is a little bit more finicky, a little bit harder to use. I would say, but if you can stick with hyper polish and in terms of a sprayable, I think you'd be pretty solid. And I think, and Ivan actually brought a new sprayable that we were testing out last week as well. Dadlick4198 says, using 3D1, which pads would you use? I'm currently using a 5-inch Lake Country HDO pad on a Max Shine 15mm DA.
I think, Dad, like that you're talking about 3D1 is an all-in-one. I don't know that product very well. I'm going to say you're using the right pad with the right product, but I don't.
That sounds right.
It
sounds
seems
right.
like you're doing it right. Han says, today I called the TRC EU and found out Dane is on their phone menu speaking and telling what number to press for TRC, OPT, and WOWOs.
I got an email about 2 weeks ago that was literally just a script, and it was all written out, and there was like zero context. So I just get it, and it's from TRC Europe, and I'm going, wait, what? Oh, it must have accidentally sent me this. It's not that they want me to do my voice. And then I finally got a response and clarified, no, we want you to read it. And I'm like, what? I didn't do it before. Oh, and I guess I'm the voice over there now.
If you call
Yeah.
the rag company here and you get the voicemail,
It
it's
used
you.
to be
No,
me.
it still is you.
Oh, I thought we changed it.
Nope, it's still you.
Oh, jeez.
So, Dane, hand me another Diet Pepsi from the...
Hold up. You already went through that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Dane,
my
I'm a drinking Pepsi machine. So a Diet Pepsi, please, this time. Be great.
Wow.
Thank you.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Torque Detail says, love these guys. Well,
What's
thank
up,
you.
dude?
We love everybody watching.
Hey.
Aaron's says, what's up?
What's up,
What is
Aaron?
What's going on? And then Matthew Gibbs says, I'm curious, guys. Please try WOWO's leather cleaner to remove bugs. My leather cleaner that's dilutable dissolves bugs like mad with virtually no wiping. Spray on, wait, and rinse.
That
Not
is
on a
interesting.
coated car, though. So,
Impressive.
yeah, we could try that.
Yeah.
See what happens. And then we have
Robbie Shaw.
says, I was going to foam O&R, but I can't remember how much lacquer thinner to add.
Oh, God. There's so many things going on
Right.
there.
I love it.
Ricky says, I just put that Pepsi fridge in my cart, and then I saw the shipping cost to Puerto Rico and had to sadly back out. However, kudos to New Air Support. Contacted them via their site chat, and they replied quickly.
Good.
Did you try putting the code in, too, Levi 50 off? Maybe
sure-
that
I'm
would
sure
have
that would
gotten you
offset
a
your
little
shipping, I
offset the
hope.
shipping there, bud.
I don't
I don't know what
knows?
the shipping was, though, to Puerto Rico.
Tell
We
you what,
really don't
Ricky,
know.
if you want to do a solid, if you took just like 5 minutes to write them like a message, like an email or something, to say, because of this podcast,
Yes,
you looked and you were
please.
interested in that.
Yeah, Hans,
Who
if
knows?
you could do that, too, that'd be great.
I'm not saying they're going to give you a deal, but I think they
Yeah.
might be, listening. So just putting it out there, it can't hurt to
Yeah.
ask.
Aaron says, any tip on how to remove old oil or something stained on carpet? My dad is a truck driver, and you can imagine the amount of stain.
So, Aaron, you're going to want to use Power Clean diluted. For oil, you need a degreaser. So, you'll want to take care of that. So, degreaser, and then just clean and shampoo it, or scrub it. Spray the degreaser on, scrub it, and then shampoo it. And then more degreaser. That's what you're going to need to use. Han says, white terry towels. What sizes can I get, and what count is I order wholesale? Hans, we have all different sizes of white terries.
What's
You can get
what's funny about this one? Do you know what this one is?
That's an
actually?
old
Well, it's
365
dirty is what
size.
it is.
It's a white 365.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70-30.
Yeah, we
This
don't.
is-
Those are that's
Because nobody ever bought them. We
I
had
know,
them, and
but,
we thought, oh, these will sell, but nobody
But I know
ever bought
Hans
'em.
is
He's
sitting here
seeing that.
watching that like, wait, a white 365? They make that?
Yeah,
We
We
once
did.
upon a time
used to.
did. And then no one
Honestly,
bought them.
I think Hans would die if he saw the old Island of Lost Towels
Oh.
and all of the previous
There are some
versions.
he would
relics
love
in
to
there.
just sit in
Dude,
Jeff's office,
ancient
and
history.
dig through the
Like-
prototypes.
Like,
It's a museum.
he just walks in with just
Hans-
this bag of
Hans,
cash.
we'll
and
make
he's
a
like,
video
"Let's do
just
this."
for you of us, and we'll just send it to you, and it'll be a phone video, and we will show you
Yeah.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
George Zapata says, I don't order because the shipping price is always too much to one towel.
Yeah, George, you just got to get over that to get to like the free shipping.
Free shipping or just go on Amazon.
Or go on Amazon. You
Yeah,
can pick up
yeah.
a pack with
So
Prime and all
I
that
was actually
stuff.
I talked to a guy today on the phone. He wanted just a little bit of all-purpose terries. He's like, I want just a couple of these towels, right? And I was like, all right, you can get a 10-pack here on the website. It's going to be around this price, but then you have to pay shipping. And he's like, I see it. I just don't need that many. Well, on Amazon, you can get a 12-pack of all-purpose terries in a 16 by 16. You can get red, gray, and black.
And black, yeah.
Or you can
Yep.
get any other color you want. 12 towels for $15.99 shipped to your door
Yeah.
via Prime.
So check out Amazon and look at that, and you can
Pretty-
get stuff
pretty-
there.
pretty great
They're
deal.
all still packaged here.
Yeah.
So
There's
you
a
still
whole
get the same
room
quality.
in this building dedicated
3
to
rooms,
packing
Dane.
Amazon packs.
Yeah. So we do that there. So
Yeah.
Richard Verdone says Parma violets are awesome. If I can get your address, I will try to post some.
Ooh.
5430 West State Street, Boise, Idaho 83703. You can find that on the Contact Us on the Rag Company.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Website. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. Han says, when talking to IK, ask about the lids. We will. TrueJ747, sup Rag. Where's baby girl at? She's out for the day.
Yeah.
Ernesto Benavidez, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're safe and well. Have a big question. What are your thoughts about the Rupes Duetto over the LHR 15 ES and LHR 15 Mark III? So that depends. There's a lot of people who love the Duetto. Some guys just think that is like the best, perfect combination. A 4-inch pad with a 12-inch stroke.
Yeah.
I've never played with the Duetto enough.
Is it a 4 or is it a 5? I think it is a.
I think it's a 4-inch pad, 4 or 5-inch pad.
Yeah, but
it's a 12 millimeter stroke.
12 millimeter stroke.
So a lot of guys really like it. So I would, if you like it, you like it. But I will tell you the 15s kick butt.
15's pretty money. Aaron's says, isn't Toyota 86 the same as the Subaru BRZ?
And the same as the Scion FRS. They're all the same car with slightly different bodywork, but underneath the skin, they're basically
we
the
got
same.
KM.
What's up?
We're not gonna be saying his government given name today.
Oh, right.
So he says, hey TRC, what's the difference between microfiber cutting pads and a foam cutting pad? I'm asking specifically about results and or technique. Thanks for the fun half, Blue IK Alki.
And then he says it like 5
Blue
times
IK
more.
Alki, Blue
Yeah.
IK Alki, Blue IK.
Yeah.
That's when he probably
got
got cut off.
So
probably did.
microfiber cutting pads and a foam cutting pad. Microfiber cuts different. It slices.
It cuts hotter, and so this actually, so microfiber, it can cut very fast, but it also cut very hot, right?
Yep.
And once it gets hot, it becomes less able to cut.
Correct, and it will require more cleaning, whereas a foam cutting pad will cut slightly slower at first, right, but will not get as hot, meaning that it will stay cooler and will cut longer because it's staying cooler, right?
Yep.
So without worrying about the pad gunking up, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's like you would be able to, let's just say if you were to have a microfiber cutting pad filled with compound and a foam pad filled with compound and run the same speed and hold them there for a period of time, your microfiber cutting pad is going to get hot, gummy, and gunked up after so long.
Yep.
Your foam cutting pad is going to be running cooler, not going to get gummy, and not going to get gunked up. And if anything, it'll just dry out.
So as a rule of thumb, if you're going to be polishing in like short bursts, microfiber makes sense. You can definitely use it. But if you're going to be the kind of person who goes a little longer, you want more working time, all that stuff, foam would definitely
Or if you
take
just have a
further.
great system for cleaning out your microfiber pads,
I mean,
whether
you
it's a
should be
pad washer,
cleaning your pads regardless.
then
Or
you should be
compressed
fine.
air.
Or compressed air, but
I will say, if you're cutting hard paint, microfiber works much better.
absolutely.
Do not cut with soft paint. Do not use microfiber. So, Ed Iverson, John Green has written me back and said, tell Ed we will make it right. Please have him email support.
There's your answer.
At theragcompany.com. So send your info and John's going to make it right for you. So
Perfect. If we
all
can
right,
scroll down,
Scroll down, Tim.
We're through with all the KM questions.
8 minutes away from the fun half. And he says, gotta go. Catch you on the tube. P.S. Dane loves Xmas trees. That's true.
Oh.
Edmund Iverson says, thanks for your assistance, as the invoice does look like it could be only one towel, although it was a 10-pack. You guys rock, even in this pandemic.
Years of packing, I know generally if a mistake is made like that, it's a simple mistake. It's
and
easy
then
to make.
Amos Thomas, Edmund, TRC e-commerce systems manager here. Please contact customer support and we will correct the matter ASAP. We recently launched a new internal system and working out kinks. It's true. We launched a new system on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
For inventory
thankfully
and-
it has not realized that it is sentient and tried to take over the building.
Sentinel.
Or Sentinel.
No, sentient means
Sentient,
self-aware.
right? Yeah, it's not self-aware yet.
It's a sentinel,
living
like
thing.
like
And
a
it's-
running, living organism.
We're talking Skynet, people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we created a new system. We launched it, and it's not fully self-aware yet, and it has not taken over the company yet. So
I've seen
But
artificial
sometimes
intelligence. I know how this happens.
That
It
can
is
change the way that invoices get populated and stuff like that. So you're just
Yeah.
looking for like the potential, there's like an extra space there or a period there, that kind of stuff.
yep. So
and
Ernesto
we- yep.
Benavidez, Aaron, yes it is. Subaru BRZ, Scion FRS, and Toyota. It's all made by Subaru. Same engine, just different designs on the exterior. If you don't know, Super 2020 made by BMW, not Toyota.
It's pretty much a running meme.
Yep. Han says, yesterday I finally got my SV patch and certificate. All right.
Wow.
We did it in January with Alan in Belgium.
Honestly, it's not the real deal until you get that patch, and then once you have that patch, you're living on a high, right?
yeah.
You wear that, and see, the thing is Han's
official.
a big fan of patches, right? Because he likes to do it up. But that's what I like about him. So when I see him next, I'm hoping to see. I want to see like a bandolier. I want to see patches.
Like a Boy Scout?
I want to see literally everything. Yeah,
Decked
a
out.
belt buckle.
Fletcher, okay, more stuff. I plan to coat the roof vent on top of the van. I have both gloss coat as well as OPT's headlight coating. Considering the fan is made of plastic polycarbonate, which should I use? Headlight coating. Matthew Gibb, it's...
Can we scroll down, please?
Black boys. There are other colors I considered, like Fuji Red, which I love.
It's something,
but
black.
something else.
And then it ends because we can't see the rest of the comment. But if we scroll down,
Tim
I'm sure we
Tim
can
will scroll.
get there momentarily.
There we go.
There we
All right.
go.
Whoa, whoa.
Ooh. All right, perfect.
It's Storm Black, boys. There were other colors considered like Fuji Red, but the best car and deal I could find nationwide was the black one. I'm coating the entire car exterior-wise. Nice.
We're sure that'll be perfect.
Yeah, I think it'll look great.
Now-
Alfredo L. What, Dane?
Oh, no, I was going to ask, Matt being in Australia, how are things going in Australia right now? I've heard a lot of cancellations.
Yeah. Alfredo L. I would love to win a car package from you guys. I've tried all the Optimum products per your videos. I fell in love with the products.
Well, a great way to win something, Alfredo, would be to jump onto the Rag Company Instagram and stay tuned for future giveaways where we give away products as well as microfiber towels, tips, tricks, techniques, and signatures from Mr. Levi Gates over here. To hang inside your favorite shop or bathroom. George Zapata says, thanks for the answer, guys. And we got Alkaline Trio, who I even could not understand why we were saying his name wrong, which is a huge compliment to Alkaline Trio. So says, still bitter about not getting the IK sprayer that's made to handle me.
Oh.
A whole lot of detailer to
That's
handle,
funny.
apparently.
He
so.
is.
Hans closing. Guess I need to come over and get all those one-off towels and relics and leave my clothes at the MOHHQ.
Oh, no, this all sounds
Master
so
of
off.
Hans?
Master of Hans.
I love it.
Richard Jones. I'm from a wee town in Northern Ireland called Ballymena. It's the birthplace of the one and only famous Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Nice. Ricky, Levi, yeah, I used the coupon. Dane, I already told about seeing it on the podcast.
Good
Smiley
man.
Face. Thank you. Ernesto, the Duetto has the same backing plate as their big brothers with 15 millimeter.
So it's a 5-inch backing plate, yeah.
Vigor, hey guys, Joe here from Vigor Auto Detailing. Dane, go to my personal page and look at the photo I just posted. My wife dropped $400 over our grocery store budget to stock up.
Oh,
she is
no.
part of the problem.
Well, you guys keep reading. I'll look
What
up.
did she buy?
Wow.
We'll find out.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
sorry.
hopefully things you like hopefully things you want to eat.
like
Well, he says
$400
she's
on
part of the problem, so
cookies,
I'm not sure they're things.
treats, beans,
Like-
rice, tortillas.
Like that's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, what would you want to be stuck in quarantine eating?
It's basically
cream cones.
laundry detergent, lots of packs of water, lots of toilet paper, paper
but
towels,
why packs of water?
and Pampers.
yeah, you need
diapers.
those. That's like a commodity with
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, obviously. You
That's
need
a
that.
lot of detergent.
Or microfiber towels.
I mean, that's like a lot of detergent.
Yeah, microfiber towels would be.
Holy, what are you guys washing over there?
Lots of.
Don't you know
I
you
count
can-
1, 2,
gear.
3,
Don't you know
4,
you can wash
5,
You can wash your
6.
clothes with a half an ounce of power clean. You'll get those things looking good. All right, so I am the OB says one more thing. I can definitely vouch for the O&R OptiSeal combo. No swirls or marring on my 2016 Fiesta ST
Good
with
man.
notoriously soft Ford paint. Use the big red foam sponge and Eagle Edgeless. Alkaline Trio says, I am pretty sure I asked this before. Sorry. But do you mind giving us some tips on preventing pad stall on highly contoured surfaces?
That's just the
What do you like more?
amount of pressure you're putting on the
It's tempting.
surface. You're going to have to play around the angle and the amount of pressure. That's where that'll come from. Ed says, I just talked to Matt, and the cavalry has been sent to save the day. Thanks again.
Very nice. Very
Awesome.
good. I am the OB. I just want to congrats for having a 2016 Fiesta ST. That is a fun car.
Especially one that
Very
hasn't
fun
blown
car.
up yet.
Yeah. I mean, that one
the
probably
Fiesta- the
didn't have the
Fiestas do.
automatic transmission like the other regular Fiestas, so it's still okay.
So would you drive a Fiesta, Dane?
Fiesta ST, yes.
Yeah.
Because those are friggin' fun, like really fun. But as for the other
But
ones,
you wouldn't drive a Focus ST.
Focus ST, it's just more weight. To me, the Fiesta is more fun. Lighter weight, little top heavy. You might roll over if you're
Dane
not careful at the
Dane
autocross
likes-
course, but that's part of
Says
the
lighter
danger
weight-
is the
lighter
fun.
weight things are more fun.
It's the impending doom of hope you don't turn a corner and there's a car coming your direction.
Dane lives life on the edge. Of
Yeah,
a
well,
needle.
driving a Miata will do
Created
that to
the
you.
Sandwich.
That looks great. Enjoy it. Have fun.
I will.
All right, moving down the line.
Philip Van Boeven, talk through the paint jeweling process, DA versus rotary, polish residue, etc. Philip, I'm not a jeweler. I don't jewel paint. Now, I will say that realistically, you could get to a point where you could jewel the paint with the proper polish, the right steps, all that stuff. I honestly don't ever see a visible difference when I jewel paint. I am doing a polishing step, and I'm polishing the paint at the finest level I can. So that's where I'm not the right person to ask about that. So
Can we scroll up just
you
a
could
little
call
bit,
Rennie and talk to Rennie Doyle. He's a big fan of jeweling. He even has NV jeweling polish, which is very liquidy, light polish. A lot of guys like Kevin Brown, the Buff Daddy, excuse me,
Ooh.
talks about jeweling, and he'll use what he calls H2O5, which is water and 205 mixed together using a black foam, and he'll polish that. So you can try that.
Yeah.
Vigor
go.
says, I passed my CD exams, by the way. Congrats,
Congratulations.
Joe.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Han says, I need the white terry to remove paint on leather, so need white ones. Will be tossed after the first use. Perfect. So, Hans, we've got 12/12s, we got 14/14s, we got 16/16s, we got 16 by 27s. When we did the color lock leather repair and restoration training, that's what we used. Were just some 12/12s and 14/14s, I think, in white.
It's a way to show your work.
High-end auto detailing Puerto Rico says, Levi, what a memory.
It's called a superpower.
You remember even the name of the towel you give me. I still have it.
Yep.
So honestly, no,
That's
is,
Levi's superpower.
That is Levi's superpower. Like, it's not like a joke or anything like that. I know we
No,
say it
for
a
real.
lot. Like, he doesn't forget people, and it's kind of haunting. And so, like, I saw him forget one guy's name, and it literally just ate him.
Oh,
like,
it tortured him.
He literally was like, I can't believe it, man. Dude, I forgot that guy's name. I'm like, no, it's all good, dude. Everybody forgets people's names. I
No,
forget
not
half the
me.
people meet. He's like, no. So it is.
I make it a point.
It's in there somewhere. You
Well,
know it's in
so
there somewhere.
To give you the background of that, like, it's something I've always had. So, Dane, you could
power you've
probably
always
think
had.
about this. Do you remember the game your parents would make you play when you were a kid in the dark, in the car, driving? Look at the
What?
headlights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
Oh yeah, no, that
You
was
would
my
name the
thing.
make and model of the car.
I knew the
based
car
on
by
the
the
headlights.
headlights when I was just a
I
little
would do the
kid.
same
Yeah.
thing with my dad. So that was where it started. Then my dad would tell me that one of the things my grandpa was very well known for was knowing somebody's name and knowing everything about them, even if they didn't know that about that he knew about that.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was a field engineer for NCR, National Cash Register. And what he would do is he would meet customers, he would go out, he would learn everything there was to know about a person or a customer. And that way, when he was going to help them take care of a problem or an issue, he had a background on how best to provide the best customer service
Sure.
for them.
Yeah.
I always took that as my grandfather learned somebody's name and learned something about them. So I've always tried to take that in that same way and go, I need to meet people. I need to learn one thing about them, and I need to learn their name.
Yep.
This allows me, and then with the advent of Facebook,
Yeah.
I have over 4,000 friends on Facebook, almost 4,000, and
Yeah.
it's surprising that I still try. And if I got you on Facebook, I want to meet you in person.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of one of my goals.
Well, you got your rule about how many mutual
I do. I
friends
have
people
25.
have to have.
We have to have 25 mutual friends for me to add you, unless we've met in person first.
True.
Wow.
And if you're trying to add Anthony as a friend, forget it because he just doesn't add people.
No, dude, I've told you this. It's like it's not.
If we don't have 25, I have a public page. You can go follow me there.
Well,
Yep.
I don't have that, so I feel bad because people add me all the time. It's not that I don't want to add you. Here's the deal. I have bad experiences when I add people, right? My feed turns into every detailer is into
cluster.
politics,
Start
right?
a public page.
I am not a politics
Start a
person.
public page because then people can't post on that stuff.
I have a public page. It's just it's not actually me.
I know.
It's somebody else.
So,
anyway.
Very well-known
anyway.
personality.
Future prison. I always told people that Terminator is based on a true story.
It is.
Vigor on a detail. For
It
some
just
reason,
hasn't happened yet.
I got tripped up on the glass and trim portion. Everything else I did really good on. The IDA definitely needs to allow you to review your test and be able to see what you got wrong. So, Joe, we do that in actual situations where you are with a trainer or you're at a CD or SV event. We do go over the tests and we do kind of grade them usually as a group so that we know, because if I have people that fail, I want them to be able to take it again. The idea allows you 1 or 2 redos before we charge you again. So I see your point. So if you want, dude, you can email me and we can go through the test again and see what you answered. So
we got Ricky Clone says, Alberto, you can enter one of the current TRC Grand Ambassador giveaways.
Yep.
Very true. So we're always trying to share the Grand Ambassador giveaways that are going on. We have 10 Grand Ambassadors chosen per quarter, and each of them do their own giveaways, so they give away towels or product. And so we try to reshare those on the Rag Company Instagram page. And so Ricky is one of our Grand Ambassadors, and he's done, I think, 2 giveaways up to this point now, which have been freaking awesome. So make sure to give him a follow so you kind of stay up to date on those giveaways and obviously learn how to enter. It's just free. It's free to enter. Typically, all you have to do is just comment or like a post. It's pretty simple.
That's all it takes.
Matthew Gibbs says, possible recession to kick in. NSW, I believe, has the most common coronavirus cases.
New South Wales.
New South Wales says, toilet paper is the biggest selling item. Supermarkets right now. What a joke.
Same here.
He says, how did The Simpsons predict so many things correctly, including corona?
I know, right?
Been on the air for that long, and history has a tendency to repeat itself. There's going to be certain scenarios where you're like, this is ridiculous, but it's funny. Let's take that premise. Next thing you know, it just happens because that's the way reality works.
It's the truth that The Simpsons have predicted a large amount of crap, and I get what you're saying. But what I love is I love that Matthew Gibb could pinpoint exactly what episode or what which Simpsons series that came from, because he knows that show so well. Yep. Here we go. We got we're at the fun
4
half.
o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Everything here, including the fun portion. Joe says, "Where's Morgan?" Not that it really matters. Just kidding. Lol.
She's out.
Yeah, she's out. High-end auto detailing Puerto Rico. My 2003 Toyota MR2 is fun too. So Hector does have a pretty wicked-looking MR2.
Dane would love to drive an MR2.
Oh, he would.
I've
love to go
driven.
for a
I've
ride
driven
with
a
you.
few. Yeah,
Windows down, Cali next to him on the side of that thing.
they're fun.
Cruising down some mountain roads. Mid-engine, right?
Yep.
Or rear engine?
Yeah, no,
It's a
I've driven.
mid-engine.
I've driven one of each generation of them, and I like them all.
It's very
Wow.
nice
Yeah.
of you to do that. Alkaline Trio drove a Fiesta ST, and the back end comes out in a turnaround lanes along freeways with traction control.
That's one of the fun things about it. They're tail happy despite being front drive car.
Wow.
Aaron says, Matt, they even predicted on Trump.
Oh, the
Alkaline says,
escalator
Tim,
thing,
scroll
yeah.
down, please. Vigor laughing. Tim, scroll down, please. Ricky says, lines here at Sam's Club this morning where Black Friday like with people stocking up for COVID-19 get-in. I just went to CVS instead and got a few things I need in a quick 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And yeah, toilet paper was the thing that was mostly missing on the shelves, with hand sanitizer too.
Remember Y2K?
Yeah. Hey guys, Oliver Taylor. Hey guys from the UK. It's my birthday today. Are you going to Waxstock this year? See you there. Happy birthday, Oliver.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
We'll see.
I will say, I looked at prices for our flight to the UK, and we could fly first class
They've gotten a little cheaper.
for the price we were going to pay last week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And at this rate, we might be able to get Delta 1,
Whoa.
which would be the pods.
Oh my God, dude.
That would
I
actually
sure
make
hope-
flying very fun.
I sure hope that they keep the ban on, we're able to buy the tickets, and then they release the ban, and then we're able to go.
I'd love to pod over there. That'd be
Be pretty sweet.
quite the thing.
So as of right now, we are planning on it. we haven't bought tickets yet. We do have our hotel room booked for the Rico Arena.
Yeah.
So that is booked. We don't have our other hotels for the other parts of the time that we're going to be there. But right now we're just holding off, see what's going to happen.
It's
and,
probably good we waited on
gonna
purchasing
go.
those tickets for the flight.
Yeah. So TM Details, Timo says, shout out to you guys. What's up,
Hey.
buddy? Alkaline Trio says, you guys are basically my gym partners at this point. This is the second or third time I'm working out during the live stream. Nice.
Andy's
Well,
commenting.
glad
nice
we could be
multitasking.
helping you pump some iron and lift
Yeah.
some weights. You know, you've got the great Anthony here, formerly of bodybuilding.com. If you need a little inspiration,
No.
go on bodybuilding.com's website.
Nope. You don't have to
Oh
do
boy,
that.
if you want to see Anthony's brief modeling career.
Vigor Auto Detailing.
Dane, it was not
Dane,
brief, it was
I
for
had
4
an
years.
87 MR2. Try to do drift a corner and put it into a tree. No joke.
Short
That would be
wheelbase,
hilarious.
weight in the middle / rear. Yeah, they're known for their snap oversteer. I did really like the 90
Dane's a fan of
4 or
oversteer,
5 that I
snap
drove. Like that
oversteer.
second gen is really, that's my favorite looking one. But the first 2 gens, I feel the driving experience is really, I love that. It
So,
reminds me of the Miata.
Scott Weaver says, I would like to buy a Rupes Mark III LHR 15. Only a 1-year warranty versus the lifetime Griot's Boss machine. What is your experience of longevity on Rupes machines?
Very well.
Very
So
well.
here's the thing, Scott. There are going to be 2 items that you'll always need to fix and replace. They are just like if you own a car, you need to buy tires, and you'll need to buy wiper blades, and you'll need to buy a battery. Like that is just something that's going to happen. Those are incidental items that are going to wear out, right? So with the Rupes, you're going to need to remember that after every certain number of motorcycles, the way that engine spins,
Yeah.
it rubs on these 2 contact plates called brushes. Those brushes wear down.
Yeah.
When they wear down, the power decreases. Now, you can go on YouTube and find videos. Any type of machine, if you bought that Griot's, it's going to have brushes in it. They're going to wear down the exact same way. Brushes need to be replaced. It's a very simple, easy process that you can learn how to do yourself by watching a YouTube video. It'll take you 5 minutes. Second thing is going to be your cord.
Correct.
When you're wrapping and storing that cord over and over and over again, that cord gets moved around and gets broken inside. You will have to take that cord off and put a new cord on. Learn how to do that the right way. Those are the 2 biggest things. The last thing is going to be your backing plate. Your backing plate, and this is the same whether you have a Rupes or a Griot's, you're going to have to fix those. Now, your warranty is covering the internal parts. I've had a Rupes machine that has done over 5,000 cars.
Wow. Whatever
It's-
happened to that machine? Gone.
I still use it every
Dead.
day. No,
What?
I used it this weekend.
Still
What? No
alive.
way. It's
Yep,
still
still
alive?
alive.
So it's still going.
Still going.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
it's gone through 3 cables and probably 15 sets of brushes.
Wow.
That's two brushes on each when you swap them. So,
When you break it down over 5,000 plus cars, that's not bad.
and that's it. I've never had any other issues with the machine.
Amazing.
So,
Wow.
I will tell you that your warranty will not cover brushes, a cable, or a backing plate.
Yeah.
No.
So, and those are the only 3 things that wear out on the Rupes. Now, your Griot's, you may have a motor failure. You may have a module failure. You may have a couple other things that happen inside the internals. I don't know. You may not ever have that. I'm just telling you, your warranty won't cover the 3 things that are always going to be possible failures on the machine. But they're very simple and easy maintenance that you need to do yourself. It's like buying a car and getting a flat tire and then going like, this car's a horrible pile
know.
of junk because I got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Well, the tires are designed to do that. Or, going, oh my gosh, my car sucks because the windshield wipers, after 2 years of not replacing them, don't work anymore. This car is a complete pile of junk. Well, you're
Go to
supposed
the store, spend $20 and put new
you
blades on
have
it, bro.
to replace that. You have
Yeah.
to. And you need to do it every year. So you're going to have to think about those things. I saw so many comments and posts of people that were like, oh, this machine sucks because of
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Well, what's wrong with it? Well, it doesn't turn on. Well, have you replaced the brushes? What are those? How long have you owned the machine? 2 years. Have you ever replaced the brushes? No. How many times do you use it? I don't know, 40 hours a week. You should have replaced the brushes the 3rd or 4th month you owned it.
Yeah.
How you made it that long, I have no idea. It's just like a brake pad and a rotor. At some point, that brake pad's going to wear out, and you're going to have metal on metal, and then that's going to fuse and cause even bigger damage.
Yeah.
So
That's a yikes.
So just do some research, learn about brush replacement, and learn about cord replacement, and then pick your choice. But I'm going to tell you the Rupes is a far better machine.
So, let's see. All good points, though. But yeah, those are things that commonly come up, and then fairly simple to address.
There we go. Alkaline Trio says, I guess he drove the MR2 too vigorously.
I love it. Oh, you know what?
Wow.
One other big thing
Yeah.
that Rupes does, you can send in your machine at any time to their department. And what's it cost?
I think $100, 80,
Yeah, it's
80
like
bucks.
$80 for
80
a full
bucks.
factory refresh.
And it
That's
covers
awesome.
shipping both ways.
Yep.
Lawrence Gambale says, hey, from Australia,
Hello.
love listening to all the TRC podcasts, watching vids, etc. My first time live Q&A. I got the day off of work.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Glad to have you here.
And we have, Han says, Timo,
Moo.
HM Auto Detailing says, why is everyone freaking out over this COVID-19 virus? LOL, hello TRC gang.
Hey.
And then we have TM Details. Timo says, is there any WOWO's merchandise coming soon, like a shop banner or some question marks?
We haven't done any of that yet.
No.
So that's something we'll have to talk to Fraser about.
Timo, are you a big fan of the Rupes, or not the Rupes, but the WOWO's line?
He's been using it.
Have you been using it? What is your favorite WOWO's product? Let us know here in the comments.
Please tell us.
We have 5,000 cars. That's a good advert for buying quality. Fantastic cost per use ratio there from Lawrence.
And next Thursday, we'll have Dylan Von Kleiss from Rupes sitting in here, hanging
Hopefully.
out, answering some questions.
We can
hopefully.
talk about
as long
it.
as he doesn't get cut off there.
Yeah.
They're just
And
flying
the-
from
and-
Colorado
yeah.
to
Well,
Boise.
it's a
It's
pretty
a
weird
close
airport.
date.
That would be a
never know.
that would be the airport I would imagine would be some type of weird quarantine situation.
You never know.
We're stuck in the basement.
It does exist.
Timo says, not sure if it's the first or the second half yet. Vigor says, second half. Philip Van Boeven, talking oversteer. Next weekend, racing at the National Corvette Museum in my Miata. 2 8-hour races. Question, usually run 900-pound springs in the front. Should I switch to the softer 800 springs based on the rain forecasted?
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not a racer.
I am-
Anthony will answer
nope,
that.
You sound like you know more than me on that.
Thanks,
so.
Philip. We appreciate that. JWL, hello from Huddersfield, England. What do you
Hey.
recommend for cleaning and protection of the undercarriage and wheel wells, etc.?
Rubber undercoating.
Yeah, I was going to say that's usually what I do. But undercarriage, wheel wells. Usually, I spray dressing on them just to help keep them cleaner. It helps repel a lot of dirt and grime and stuff. Keeps a lot of the rubber plastics and stuff. But I just use tire dressing or even a water-based dressing. You can spray up under there. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Philip says, open fun discussion on cars. You're right, Phil. That's why we do
I'm
this.
down with that.
We're just not that smart when it
Well,
comes to...
when it comes to spring rates and stuff, I
Yeah.
honestly don't mess around with too
I'm
much
gonna
because
say
I'm
if
not
you
somebody who
did
tracks their cars.
swap them to
yet.
800 and then you crash your car, I don't want to be responsible for that
Well,
because
so-
I don't know what you're talking about.
So for example, like in the springs that I'm aware of, right? There's spring ratings of, you have your 8K, you have your 10K, 12K, 14K, and you have spring ratings that way, right? I don't know 900 pound, 800 pound. I know that. I know once you get into 12,000, 14,000. I don't know the difference. I don't the terminology correct for what that would be. But I know, for example, 8K spring rates, very comfortable for daily driving, relatively soft. 6 is even softer, right? But the second you get into 12 or 14, you are pretty stiff at that point. And, stiff is better in
Well,
some cases.
the thing is, like, the Miata's a light car, so, I mean, you don't need to go too crazy with stiff, suspension on that for it to still handle very well. And from the factory, they were designed with body roll in mind, so doing that obviously changes up the suspension geometry a bit. But, of course, if you're already racing it, you know all this already. But Yeah, no, it's softening it up a little bit. I don't see that hurting.
Here we go. We have.
else?
Sorry.
Whoa.
We have seen to have jumped up. We have a JWL says hello from Huddersfield, England. Oh, sorry, we got that. And then we have open fun discussion. Vigor says JWL dash Pepsi. And then,
I was going to point out to JW or Philip. One other reason is around here we don't have racetracks. Unfortunately, just in our state, there aren't a lot of options. I know in the Midwest and the
have
South,
a circle track.
there are
Dane.
a circle
We
track
have
doesn't
a
count.
Straightaway.
yeah.
Guys, a
Those are racetracks.
drag race
we have
cars and a
Bogus
circuit
Basin.
We also have Bogus Basin, which is an
Dane.
illegal
Street
road
race.
a
that
sanctioned
many people die
road course with complete with runoff areas and
on.
all
We
that
do.
stuff.
It's called Meridian Speedway. It's an oval. You go in
It's
a
an
circle.
oval.
You only
Guys,
turn left.
The Midwest and the South and the East Coast have way more of those things. In our particular state, we just don't have a lot of those.
Yeah.
So we want to have one. They're building one called Gem State Raceway that they're going to be
we'll
building up.
see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see if they make
We
sense.
don't know if it's actually going to come to fruition or not, but that's what we're hanging our hat on for the time being. And then maybe I will become a track person.
It's a fragile
Oh,
enough
be sweet.
topic
Can't
there
wait
that
for
the
that.
coronavirus could potentially shut down that speedway. Edmund
It hasn't
Iverson,
even been built yet. but
Edmund
they might just shut
Iverson
it down.
says,
dirt.
this might be a cool episode for Detox. How to care for and maintain your DA polisher.
That is a great idea.
I actually
We'll
like
think
that
about
idea.
doing
Yeah.
that next week. Alkaline Top Hat says, Levi, don't lie. We all know when the pads get to metal on metal, that makes them
Race brakes.
Yeah.
If we get away from them to warm up,
You
right?
got to warm them up.
Oh,
yeah.
they'll get hot.
Ed says, I'm not Timo, but I really like Tire Restore.
Yeah.
And Timo
Good
says,
product.
yes, I used everything so far. My favorite product is by far the Quick Detailer. Fire. Performance is awesome, and I absolutely love the smell.
Quick one around. What's your favorite, Levi?
Interior Finisher
Okay.
is my favorite. I really like Quick Detailer, and I love Tire Restore.
Okay, Dane, your favorites?
It's the quick detailer for me, man. I love the smell. I love the way it performs. I like the original smell even better. But, you know, you get what you get.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Timo, if you ever make it out here, I have a very small vial of what the actual smell was supposed to be. It's literally like
So good.
It's like it's so good. I don't know what happened. Fraser says the smell stayed the same.
He said it was the same ingredients to create the smell on the new one, but
I think he lied to me. So anyway, it still smells great. Quick Detailer is absolutely my favorite, but I mean that's shortly followed by Showstopper, Tire Restorer, Crystal Seal, and Interior Finisher, Bottles Wash. All those are just freaking awesome.
but the name
products.
Quick Detailer really undersells it, and that's
really
the big
does.
thing. If you were to compare it to other quick detailers, it's blowing them out of the water.
It's literally like
yeah,
it's literally like your car will look detailed, as if a detailer did a quick detail on it,
Yeah.
and it just looks that way right out of the bottle,
but
which
it
is pretty crazy.
really does it, and the paint feels crazy after.
Yeah. He says, didn't mean to step on your toes, TM, Edmund says. And then JWS has been playing with Showstopper Neat and mixed up with DDSI.
Oh.
Love it.
Okay, awesome, man. TM says, second favorite product is Interior Cleaner. Dude, that product smells. It works fantastic.
Yeah.
Interior Cleaner
Pretty
was actually the more
Yeah.
recent addition to the Woes line before the whole launch, and it's become a lot of people's favorite product.
Alkaline says, since it's a fun portion, will you read questions in funny voices? We could.
Good.
HM Auto
But we
Detail.
won't.
Yeah.
I might.
Dane will.
HM
will.
says, I've tried bare bones for wheel wells. Pretty good. Sorry, TRC. I cheated on you. That's all
You
right.
know, it's okay.
We're cool. Lawrence says, love
Water
the
under the
Minx
bridge.
Edgeless with O&R for interiors. Is there another TRC towel you would recommend? Lots. 365s, Eagles, Gauntlet, any of the waffles.
FTWs actually work
FTWs
really
are
good.
wicked.
Yeah.
Really great towels. And then Lawrence said something weird.
Oh,
and
it's
retracted
retraction,
it.
and we hit the bottom of the comments.
That's the bottom of the comments?
That's the bottom. That means this is the fun point. I had somebody ask a question on a post I made promoting the Q&A before
Yeah.
we went live, and they wanted to hear our story about how we got into this stuff. I know we talked about it on the podcast before, but they kind of wanted like
How
a
we
little
got into each other and
refresher,
stuff, or-
a little refresher on like how you got into detailing, car stuff.
Oh, I was born into it. I've been
Yeah.
detailing ever since I was a little
Your
kid.
parents were detailing, so I mean,
So,
you had that.
Yeah, I was raised that way.
I do have a question that was actually asked earlier
Yeah, I
because
saw we got an
somebody
email.
said that he was going to be missing the Q&A today.
I will say G. Davis is on a cruise
Oh,
with his
that's
lovely
why he's
bride.
not here.
They are headed to Mexico.
Ooh. little bit of
He was
Mexico.
wearing his Wash Wednesday shirt on Wednesday
Heck
when he was
yeah.
sitting on the boat. sent a
That's
picture
pretty
to me,
brave of him to be going on a cruise right now.
and said, hopefully we don't get quarantined.
Honestly, the cruise is the best place to be. You're getting fed. You're getting free
Yeah, it's gonna be
food.
great.
I take it you've
You're
never
getting-
been on a boat that
Nope,
was quarantined.
never been on a boat. Dane hasn't either.
No,
so.
I've been on. Okay, you know what?
No, but I have friends who have, and
But,
it's a
yeah,
nightmare.
it's
you
not
know what?
you,
You
Dane.
know what? My first cruise.
You're trapped on a boat with a bunch of other people who are puking their guts out and all this stuff, and
Yeah, but
it
you
kind
have
of
your own
stops
cabin.
becoming fun and starts becoming
do
a
you-
nightmare.
You
Do
have
you
your
know what
own
my
cabin.
first cruise
Who's
ever was,
puking their
Dane?
guts out?
All the sick people.
Yeah, but if you have your own cabin, you just stay in your cabin.
After a while, I don't want to get into details of what happened with
You
the
just-
onboard sewage, but it
no,
was
you
not
just
pretty.
dump it into the ocean.
Yeah, Dane, it's not a big deal. Dane, now, guess what my first cruise ever was?
Dane,
What?
water everywhere. Let's all have a drink.
Dane, my first cruise was Royal Caribbean, and it was the Oasis of the Sea.
Oh,
One of
Yeah.
the
Gorgeous.
biggest
No, I
cruise
know.
ships
fascinating.
ever. And it was my first cruise experience
Well,
ever.
that kind of ruined it for you, didn't it?
Literally, no, if you... That's why I say I would stay on a cruise ship. That cruise ship was not a cruise. It was a little... It was
It's
a,
a
it was
city.
a city. And it was awesome. And I would totally stay on that and be quarantined on that if I can continue to eat the food.
Until they run out.
And play the video games and go to the tennis ball court and the gym.
That's one of the few where I
day
can actually
spa.
see that working because there's enough space and there's enough stuff on there that maybe it would work better. But on your average cruise ship, man, that after a few weeks.
All right, here's the Scooter wanted to ask. He says, "Hey guys, since I won't be able to chime in, I had these questions that I'll ask through emails." He says, "What is the dilution ratio for Bead Maker in an IK9 sprayer? Full strength seems great. God mode ? And I'm assuming IK9 multi, not the foam. So yes,
Yeah,
you would
no
always
dilution,
in
just
any
ready
multi
to use.
sprayer you would always use Bead Maker at full dilution." And then he says, "What is the dilution for Brake Buster in an IK9 foamer? Full strength or 50-50 doesn't work too good.
Yeah.
Great for a second, then gets stringy and I lose pressure fast." All right, so I am going to go ahead and say right now, this is my question to the audience since we have time. You guys, in an IK foamer, would you use Brake Buster 50-50 or at full strength? Don't. I want them to
You
answer.
want them to answer?
I want
Okay.
them to answer.
So we'll let you guys answer that. So here's what the other thing I was going to bring up. So obviously we're not going to have G. Davis in this.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Hopefully they'll be safe. They'll be good. I would like to put this out there for posterity. I'm going to be texting G. Davis as well. I would like, and I'm going to pay Kim to make some pretzels dipped with the frosting and the decorations for August's birthday
Ooh.
in April. He has been talking about those and does not want anything else for his birthday other than that, which I know is, he's 5 and that's BS. He wants a lot of different presents and toys
Yeah,
and
that's
things
just-
like that.
That's
But
what
he
he
has
wants from
said
G. Davis.
It's
he
that
wants
and a
that.
pony, man.
He needs that from G. Davis and Kim. Is he talked about how great it would be and if he had his own pretzels dipped in frosting that had the faces and stuff on them is what he said. So you guys heard it. That's what we're all going to hold G to this. I'm going to send him. I'm sure Kim will get this handled and taken care of. We got till the end of April. Shouldn't be a
That's
problem.
a little bit of time. You're coming in
but,
ahead, so that's
yeah.
good.
So just wanted to bring that up and was hoping that they would be on, but I remembered they were going to be off today. So
Oh.
All right.
So let's see
back,
some
back-
answers
well,
here.
back to the foaming thing here. So we have a couple of different answers. We have Bob Peters says 5-1. We got Edmund saying 50-50.
Ooh,
We got Ricky
dangerous.
Clone says definitely not full strength. 50-50 maybe all the way down to 8-1 or so. So here's the deal, guys. Brake Buster is a relatively thick wheel cleaner.
It's like a gel.
It is. It's a little bit. It's a little bit less than a gel, but it's almost a gel. You should never try to foam that any less than 7-1, in my opinion. All right. I think about a year ago, right? I don't know if the viscosity changed or whatever it was. Brake Buster used to foam pretty beautifully at 5-1, and it still worked, right? In recent testing, 5-1 is not the answer anymore. I've realized that, hey, 5-1 is still way too thick. You are not getting as much spray time. It's clogging the sprayer, right, which is a big thing. So we'll be covering that here in a future video on an IK troubleshooting video. I'm seeing more often that people are getting clogged sprayers, and it's causing issues, especially with something thicker like Brake Buster. So coming from the horse's mouth here, I recommend that the most concentrated form of brake buster that you foam in an IK Foam Pro 2 or an IK9 should be 7-to-1. I'm talking max. Do not go any more than 7-to-1. I think the nice, perfect middle area would be 10-to-1 on everything. So 10-to-1 on the IK Foam Pro 2, 10-to-1 on the IK Foam 9. Always 10-to-1 would probably be my answer. And for people that are looking for something stronger, go 7-to-1. But basically, I have been doing a lot of troubleshooting here over the last week or so, breaking it down with the IK Foam Pro 2 as well as the other IK sprayers. And we had several returns. All 3 of them returned. All had brake buster previously in them, right, because of a clogging issue. What I found is that brake buster, it can easily clog a tube if the product is not completely cleaned out of the sprayer, right?
You got to flush it.
And so brake buster, I mean, depending on your water, depending on, how thick you've made it, you might be able to store it for a little bit, but that particular product does just not seem to like to be stored for a long period of time, and it will clog it. So where it clogs it, I'm going to try to be as specific as possible about this without actually showing you guys. When you take the top off your IK Foam Pro 2, you have your feeder tube, right, with your colored tip that determines the foam. That little tip right there, not only is that a through tip where you can see the top and bottom, right? You think it's a one-way. On the side of that tip, there is a very, very, very small breather hole. That small breather hole is actually what is sucking in air
from inside the chamber.
If that clogs, your spray is crap. Basically, what you have to do, take that off, look at the little colored tip, grab yourself a little, what do you call that? You stick into a wall. A little not thumbnail, but a thumbnail, right? Yeah.
Wait, what?
What's the
Are you
thing
talking about?
What's the thing like a needle that you'd stick into the wall to hang things?
Okay. Wow.
A thumbtack. Sorry.
For some reason, I was like, "What's the name of the little thing that you poke into electrical sockets?" And I'm like, "What? You shouldn't be doing that."
No,
because you like poke into the
Dane's
wall.
trying to think
He's saying like plug it into the wall.
Get yourself get yourself a thumbtack and stick it inside that hole, right? And kind of work. Don't work it in too much, but just work it in just a little bit. Unclog that, right? That is one area that the sprayer will clog, especially when using brake buster.
Yeah.
The other area that it'll clog is actually through a top assembly. I don't want to explain how to take it apart here now. I'll explain it in a future video, but there's one other small induction area where it will clog. So try the tip trick first, and if you do it, I guarantee your sprayer is going to be breathing a lot better, first off, and performing a ton better. But again, from here on out...
Key on out, 5-to-1.
What's that?
5-to-1 dilution.
No. 7-to-1.
7-to-1.
If not 10-to-1.
Not
Looks
7-to-1
like HM
max,
Auto Detailing
10-to-1.
got it right.
You do not want to go 5-to-1 anymore. Like I said, I think this is just me assuming. I feel like PNS Brake Buster has gotten thicker within the last year.
Possibly.
And so I think the viscosity has changed. And because of that, I think that you have to dilute it more.
Okay.
So there were a
Hans
number of
Closen,
questions that we missed.
We'll just go through them. Hans Closen, if we only had the Next Day Nate flute. High-end auto detail in Puerto Rico. I used to have a 2003 Tiburon with 513 horsepower and 461 foot-pounds of torque.
Dude. With
the same engine Levi's Elantra had. So, let me know if Levi wants me to modify it for him so he can get a little earlier to work. Hee hee.
Nice.
TM Details, Hans Closen. When do we go visit those guys? The Fiesta, and then I am the OB. The Fiesta ST is stupid fun. I compare ownership and fun factor to my 2015 FRS.
Yep.
Thanks for the input. Hans says, TM, will be opening and launching my own company in April, but love to go, brother. Congrats on that, Hans.
Nice.
Bob Peters says 5-to-1. Wrong. HM Auto Detailing, just wondering, will TRC open a retail store in Canada? Not a retail store. We already have 4 or 5 other people who have retail stores that carry Rag Company products.
Here's
our website and check them
the
out.
thing for everybody, because we get this question kind of frequently. When will Rag Company open an HQ in insert state or company here? we're probably just going to stay in Boise, Idaho. That's the way it works. We will offer our products to people who become distributors, companies that want to distribute the products, but we will not build more physical locations like this in other places. This is going to be the mothership. This is the HQ. So unless something drastically changes between now and, say, 5 years from now, this is the way it's looking.
Oh, my retirement plan is set up to be in somewhere near Gilbert, Arizona. So I just started that just now.
Okay.
I was just because I kind of want to ride my
Sounds
motorcycle year long, if I can, down the road if the virus doesn't get me.
Yeah.
And so I would love to set up a TRC store in Gilbert, and then I'd be pretty close to Dixon. Literally just 30-minute drive from Dixon.
very
That's the
nice.
real reason
So
he
I'd be able
wants
to
to do it.
So be able to go down there, pick up those Friday
like it.
releases, which tomorrow the chainsaw releases. I'm glad they didn't call it the massacre because that would not be good.
No.
But they did call it the chainsaw so that releases. But
Oh man, everybody beat me to the massacre. I didn't get to
All right.
participate.
So,
have you been
Future Prison?
have you been to Gilbert, Arizona? Beautiful little town. I like it.
That's one of the few states I haven't really visited much.
Dane, you would be minus the Scorpions.
Him and the IROC lady would have a great
Oh
time.
my god, dude!
I don't
she
know,
hits
just-
Probably
Mexican
lives
restaurants.
in Arizona.
In my
Oh,
head,
man.
I'm not like nothing wrong with Arizona. I just don't know if
Dane,
it's really
you
for
got
me.
you got the Jag in New Mexico, right?
No, I got it in Texas.
Ah, yes.
And Texas felt like it took forever to get out of because it is a massive state.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy my time there.
Future
Okay.
Prison says, I went on a 10-day boat cruise many years ago. I would compare it to a retirement home with every door barricaded and no escape possible.
That's pretty much what I was thinking. Yeah.
Lawrence Gamble, any idea when gauntlets hit here in OZ? I'm assuming Australia. Lawrence, they're available through aucarcareco.com. You can get a hold of Mark Perch at
Yes.
AU Car Care Co. He is our distributor for that, and I believe the gauntlets have already arrived. I think they arrived in February. And then Ed Iverson, I had it clog up the spray nozzle in the original bottle too. And now we're back to the thing.
And then TMDSL says, Hans, good luck with that. Hans, fire. HM Auto Detailing says 7-1 question mark. Yes. Future Prison says, thankfully ONR hasn't clogged up the IK yet.
Yeah, that won't be happening.
Nope. Edmund Iverson says 10-1 it is. And then HM says, think distilled water is the way to go. I'd say if you have distilled water, use it, but you don't need to. It really just kind of comes down to getting the dilution right for maybe the water that you have, and then just how you're mixing it. I mean, dude, I've talked to everybody under the sun. Some people say, well, I diluted it 5-1, right? And I have them send me a video of them diluting it, and they have literally filled a third of the thing with product.
They don't know
And they say 5-1, and I say no, dude, that's like that's like 2-1, and they're like no, because I'm following these little lines. I'm like, okay, don't look at the lines. I mean, yes, look at the lines, but don't look at the lines, right? If you need to measure it with like a little petri dish
I put 5 bottles of this product in, and then I put 1 bottle of water in. No.
Well, I mean, it's just a little bit different. So basically, Kishore Morale says, hailing TRC all the way from Trinidad via custom detailers.
Awesome.
Love Beadmaker and Showstopper. Stole the spotlight at our local car show drift meet.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome. How was that combination of Beadmaker backed with Showstopper? Do you feel like it made a difference with the topper on the topper? Let us know. Ricky Clone says 10-1 is what I've been using for the Woes clean wheels, and it really does work beautifully. Yeah, you did bring up the IK returns a while back. Yeah, we don't get, I don't want to say we get a lot of them, but when we get them, they're about the same issue. So I try to walk people through that issue.
Seeing as we're one of the primary places people get them, period. I mean, Anthony has kind of become the IK whisperer. So
I don't know if I'd call myself that, Dane, because that'd be kind of weird.
For fun, you should watch his video with Matt Mormon where they go back and forth and fight each other over an IK.
No, but that's a good one because a
It's
lot
great.
of people don't understand dilution.
It
That's the
answers
biggest thing.
a lot of questions about dilution
So,
there.
Future
Prison. Removing tops, playing with tips, sticking things in. What site did I just click on?
It's a
Oh,
stretch,
the
but I'll
best
allow
one.
it.
Yeah.
HM Auto Detailing, cool, 10-1, cool. Bob says, I'll change my notes. HM Auto Detailing, thanks. Hans, TM, thanks. We'll be putting on my new patches real soon.
Yeah, patches.
And then message retracted from HM.
Patches O'Houlihan is what we're going to be
Patches
calling
O'Houlihan.
calling him.
If you can dodge a patch, you can dodge a ball.
Dick, dive, dodge, and dodge.
Dude, did we eat almost all these cookies?
Yes, we did.
That is not. I was sitting here wondering, I'm like, man, I don't really feel that great right now, and I was
We had a
wondering
lot of
why.
cookies.
it makes a lot of sense.
I've managed to
now.
have 3 so far. I'm really trying not to.
So, I don't know about you guys. What are you doing after work, Dane?
You know what? I think I'm actually going to the gym.
No way.
For real.
Heck yeah, dude.
True.
Go and do it. So,
Trying to do it.
I'm going to go pick up my new front lip for my Civic.
Oh, that's right. You got a killer deal
I was telling
on
people
an
that.
OEM lip.
Well, it's not a killer deal until it's all said and done, and I have it in my hands. But basically,
Let's let the seller know he's severely underpricing the product he's giving
please
you.
don't do that. No, it was you guys know I have my Honda Civic. Well, there's a guy selling a OEM EM1 SI lip. It's a 99 2000 Civic SI front lip. It's an OEM piece, but they're just getting really hard to come by.
Well,
And
he has a blue car he's selling. You didn't expect him to have this lip, especially not in the color that it was.
Well, because he had it, and I said, "What color is it? Blue?" And he's like, "No, it's red." I'm like, "Perfect, amazing." So I said, "I'll come and pick that up from you tonight." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, come down and get it." So I'm picking that up after work, and then I'm gonna go hit the gym for myself. And then go get a good workout in.
Nice.
But I'm starting to, how do I say this? Starting to wonder, right? Like, when is the gym going to start dying out soon? Right? Am I going to be the only person working out at that gym? If so, that'd be pretty awesome. But what do you think is going to happen gym-wise, Dane?
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm just saying if you look at the data on the age ranges of those most affected, it's not looking good for the the upper ranges compared to the other. It's still the percentages are what they are, but your age, just do things to have a healthy immune system as best you can. The people who are actually in positions where this is getting really bad are those who have compromised immune systems.
I was actually reading
and I feel really bad for those.
I was reading an article about having personal time will actually raise your immune system.
Huh. Okay.
I
Dane has
swear,
a lot of personal
I
time.
swear, no, it's not that kind of personal. But but I read that and I was like, well, that's interesting. And it was backed up with an actual scientific article, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So one thing that you could be doing on top of maybe taking your vitamins, taking your minerals, getting in your fish oils. Fish oils are one of my favorite
I've been
things
taking
to
them
take.
every day for the last month because of the diet I was on.
Great
so,
for your heart
yeah.
health, great for your skin health, full of healthy fats to help with your cardiovascular system. As well as your respiratory system, right? So basically, the way I see it is, you have a healthy heart, a healthy functioning intake, then your exhaust should be pretty well functioning as well.
That's great.
Words to live by.
So I need to get to the gym more often.
Dane's going to the gym tonight.
You are, Dane?
It's true.
It's pretty great. I've been just doing some weightlifting, doing some curls. I got a kettlebell.
Nice.
And just a 20-pound barbell.
Yeah.
Just doing some stuff with that at home because I've just been so busy. But I need to get back to the gym.
Yeah.
So I'd love to start getting back and just get into that regiment. Carly and I, we always fall out of it for a while.
Carly used to be a trainer. She used to literally teach classes.
She used to be shredded.
Yeah, dude. She was a machine. She would teach these. What was that called?
It's called high fitness. It was a
fitness.
It was a HIIT interval training. High intensity interval training.
She was in such good shape that she could literally pick you up over her head.
She couldn't do that.
Okay.
She could run.
Okay, for a long period of time.
She did half marathons.
Wow.
She never done half marathons before.
Yeah.
She started training and teaching people and doing classes. She would teach 5-6 classes a week.
Yeah.
And started to do some damage. If she would have stayed at probably 2 or 3 classes a week, because it was such a heavy duty load.
Yeah.
She probably would have been able to continue doing it, but it tore her shins and knees and ankles.
Dude, she was choosing her tracks. Like, she would choose her music tracks and throw down, and that was like her job. That's what she did.
Yeah, I took Dan Williams from Optimum at the time. I took him to one of her classes.
Yeah,
you
and
did.
He sweated it out with us, and he was like, "Holy crap, that was insane."
Dude, and it was for men and women too. It wasn't just women.
Yeah,
There's guys in there that are getting their butts kicked. You said you've gone to them, and you
I would
said
go, and it would hurt. If I didn't go often enough, it would hurt.
And you have to think about those people that are putting on those training classes. They can't fail, right?
No.
Like, because they're under pressure.
It's all on them.
Yeah. No, like, part of me thinks I should go do one of those high classes like once a week just to do it. So
Dane was going to sign up at Cycle Bar.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't true, but
okay.
let's see where your premise takes you. What's going on here?
I would love to see Dane in a spin class.
Okay, no, because Cycle Bar, right? high energy, which I freaking love, right? But they have, I believe it's called Wine Wednesdays.
Drink some wine and then go for a ride.
Well, no, you drink afterwards, but it's
during.
But it's pretty fantastic. So you get off there, and they typically have like wine. I think they have cheese sometimes out, so you can literally get out of this heavy workout.
Well, that's how they used to do the Tour de France.
Did
Back
they?
in the old days, you'd have a single speed bike with no derailleurs.
Yeah.
You would have to climb. So you do literally the entire tour
Yeah.
without derailleurs, so no gears, one speed.
Yeah.
Dudes would be smoking
Fixie.
cigarettes. They'd be smoking cigarettes. They'd be drinking. They'd be passing wine bottles to each other.
That's
and
what blew
cheese
my
and
mind about
baguettes
watching
and
old
stuff.
footage of those.
Yeah.
And they would.
Ugh.
That's what they would do. And these bros would straight up climb mountains on these single speed bicycles while smoking cigarettes.
What do those lungs look like, I wonder?
Oh
That's
my gosh,
just,
I can't even imagine
Probably
those guys.
great.
The
Yeah.
derailleur was touted as a cheating of like when they put gears and a derailleur on the back of the bike,
Yeah.
they were gonna ban it because they said it was cheating.
Yeah.
Because these dudes were drinking wine, smoking cigarettes, and riding single speed bikes, fixed gears bikes up those mountains.
Yeah.
That's a
pretty
whole
wild.
different
Yeah.
set of skills right there.
But yeah, no, I need to go back and start doing a little. I need to get rid of this little weird gut that's starting to form.
I got a weird big gut, so you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
we're all working on
I
it.
got this weird thing on my back I'm trying to get rid of.
Oh yeah, it's
Wait.
like a hump.
Like a hump, yeah.
Oh
like a
no,
deformity.
That- gross.
you might have scoliosis, bud.
Nah, I'm good.
So, what do we get to Future Prison?
We're
No.
Future Prison says, "Gosh darn that fridge! Thankfully, Pepsi Max in my full-size boring white cold box. Go pick one up, bud. You can have one.
Your fridge way
Easy.
more if you had one of these.
Yeah, go check it out. Oh, and that just disappeared.
Oh no, all the comments disappeared.
Like I would love for somebody to be watching this, right?
There we go.
And live with us, and like when we reach for a drink, they reach for a drink
Oh, I'd
too.
love that, too.
Like they're like oh,
Oh,
oh crap, they're
amazing.
grabbing a drink. Like me too. And then we
Yeah.
like take a snack bite, and they're like, oh, I want a snack bite as well. Like I'm there with them.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
right.
great. I would
You
love
know.
that.
That's very
Maybe
very
we'll,
comforting.
maybe we'll put out
to know
what
you're
treats
not
we're gonna
alone.
have ahead of time so people can plan.
Yeah.
So Alkaline says, "I recommend the TRC podcast for gym music, Dane."
I appreciate
I
the
have
thought. I
listened.
recommend it to all the rest of you, but if I have to listen to myself talk,
I have
just,
I have
no.
listened to them on some of them just because they've been funny, like the funnier.
There have been
episodes.
certain ones I did listen back to where I was like, okay, there was an anecdote in there that was really fun, so relive it.
HM Auto Detail and Funny was thinking of getting the front lip for my Civic.
Do it.
Ah.
Nice, do. Ben Stroka. So I think I'm going to get hired at Signature Detail in Hillsborough, North New Jersey. Any tips or helpful info into someone who's never detailed professionally, just on the side? Ben, I don't have any advice for you other than listen. These guys are going to teach you different things. It may not be the way that you think you're doing it, but listen to the way they do it. The hardest thing for me when I hired people to be detailers was when they'd say, "Oh, I can clean my own cars." You don't know how to detail like you do when you detail in a shop. There's a standard operating procedure that a lot of people follow. You can go on our website and go to the FAQs, and you can see my standard operating procedure on how I work my way around a car. You could probably review that, at least so you have an idea. But there's going to be things that you're going to learn that are just part of the service.
And
Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It's part of the service and how we get something done. So I would just say listen. Keep your ears open. Keep your mouth closed. And
watch some Ivan LaCroix
out.
videos at home for efficiency purposes.
I would wait until you learn their standard operating procedure
Well,
before you do anything else.
Do what they say, but if you have something you can bring to the conversation, and offer
I would
it up.
wait and learn first before, because you don't know what their style is. You don't know how that's going to work. And
What
I've
he's saying
always
is some
told,
people get territorial too.
No. So when our friends at Auto Wash, they hired Prentice St. Clair to teach them how to do detailing.
Right.
Yeah.
I looked at their SOP that Prentice had created, and Erin asked me, she's like, "Is there something you would change?" And I said, "There's a lot that I would change, but you're starting with a crew that nobody knows how to detail.
They all
Yeah.
need to be on the same foot.
Nobody knows. So
Yeah.
I said, get a couple years under your belt of doing it this way so that everybody gets comfortable. Then we come in and then we change. Then we show you how to get faster. You have to have a baseline. And if your baseline is only cleaning cars in your driveway, that is a good baseline, but it is not a professional baseline. It's like It's kind of like having
Well, you can't do it until you've done it when it comes to the professional stuff. Until
right.
you've
Well, it'd be like,
done it.
It would be like, Dane, if
There's no
you-
experience.
Well, Dane, it'd be like you saying to, let's say, Jimmy,
Yeah.
one of our editors, who doesn't really have a formal education.
He's
on-
self-taught.
Yeah, he's self-taught on his video editing skills.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, I
throwing
was
him-
the same way, and I do it differently than he
but
does. So.
throwing both of you into like one of the local news channels,
Oh, yeah.
or say going to work for like ESPN or
The way Nick does it is
MSNBC
very
or-
different from how
very
I
different. You would be like, this
approached
isn't
it.
how I know how to do this. This is how I. They'd be like, this is how you will do it. We will
Yes.
teach you this way.
And unfortunately,
will
I'm
have
one
to
of
do
those
it.
stubborn people who looks at it and goes, well, I guess I won't be doing that way because I am
And
less efficient. I am not myself if I do
Right.
it that way.
But if they don't,
But that's a
want you
choice
to-
people have
right.
to make.
So,
So that's
the,
on them.
But the point is, you always have to have a baseline. And if you don't know the right processes on how to catalog, how to do that kind of stuff, or how to lay like whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
if you don't know their processes, you don't know how to do the job.
Right. Well, and it's their business, so you
if-
should be listening
right.
to them.
And if you go on your own when someone's trying to teach you how to do something the right way, it's like it'd be the exact same way as us when we do our bag challenges.
yeah.
So what you guys don't know is we do these work day parties where we have a competition, a packing Olympics.
Yeah.
We go down there and we try and pack towels the fastest way. If John just let Dane or Anthony and I, or even like one of the guys up here, just to pack, after he showed us how to do it, and we said, yeah, that's not how I do it. This is how I do it.
Right. Oh, our way
We
is
would not-
horrendously
We
slow
would be
compared to
we would be
their
fired.
system.
John would be like, you're doing it this way. This is the best way.
Yeah.
And if we said to John, well, that's not how I learned, that's not how I do it, I need to be like me, that's not my way, he would tell us, well, then you don't need to work here.
And see, that's the
He would
difference.
say that.
For me, it's always conditional. It depends on the situation.
Right.
For packing, I wouldn't tell anybody how to do that
But if
stuff
you
because I'm
came-
the one who
yeah.
started here, and they adopted
Right.
that and they improved it as they went
Right.
along.
But if
and I
you
haven't
came to
been
work
involved with
for
the
me-
process since that happened.
Yeah.
But a detail shop, I'm not a detail. When it comes to video, though, the way I do it, I own that. That's me. That's mine.
I know, but if they
and
were,
I am
but if-
possessive and
if-
territorial
right.
about
but
that.
if they came to you and said, you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to do this, why are you trying to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to learn our way.
Oh,
You
yeah,
would
wouldn't
you would
dispute
have
that.
to listen and understand and go, you're right, I don't know how to do that.
Well,
Let me learn.
You're the new person. Of
Right.
course, you're going to have to do
So,
that. No
going back-
disputing that.
Going back, Ben, listen to what their standard operating procedure is, because I guarantee you it's very different than what you're doing. Now, you're coming in with a good baseline in the sense that you already know a lot of products, you already know how to do stuff.
Well, you've washed a car, so that's a step in the right
he's
direction.
listening to our podcast. He watches our videos probably already. There's a lot of things that he's already covered, which makes him a better candidate than
Yes.
somebody else.
Yeah.
I will say, keep your mouth shut. Listen to what they tell you. Go through, learn it, because the muscle memory you learn is going to be the best way. Now, let's say after a week or a month of you doing this and you find efficiencies that you could change, then bring that up and say, hey, why do we do it this way? If we did it this way, we could do these three, we could knock out these three things much
you
faster.
get some time under your belt first.
That makes sense. But if you walk in the first day and the process of them showing you how to do your car and you go, that doesn't work for me, I can do it this way.
Oh.
They're going to tell you to get out.
Yeah,
It's just,
and see,
it's a different
That's
role.
the part that's different. If I'm walking, okay, say somebody hires me, and the reason they hired me is because they saw my work, they liked what I did. If I go in there as a freelance person, as someone going in there, well, the reason you hired me is because of the way I do
Right.
these things. That's why I approach it differently. If it's the detailing stuff, though, and it's like we need someone who can accomplish these things, we do this way here, and you haven't had too much time under your belt to where you develop bad habits and
Right.
you have like
Yep.
bad muscle memory habits.
That's the
and stuff,
worst. That's honestly the worst employee
that's
you
gonna
could get.
hurt more. Yeah,
is hire somebody from another detail shop that doesn't stick to your SOP.
it's easier to train somebody who doesn't have like all that stuff built
Exactly.
in already.
Exactly.
So 100% with you there. But once again, these things are all conditional. So like the video thing doesn't necessarily perfectly translate because if you go to
But
like a
it's just
professional
it's
setting,
just a different level of
if
what
I went
you
to
would get.
ESPN, I would have to do it their way. Otherwise, I wouldn't
That's
have
what
a
I mean.
job.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
yeah, like a
saying.
detail shop, I'm going there. I have to do it their way.
Yeah.
But difference for there is I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go there because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, if you didn't have a job and
Yeah.
you had to get a job and that was the job you chose,
Oh yeah.
or the job you wanted,
Yeah, until you can
So,
find a way to do stuff yourself, that's the way you got to do it.
So there you go, Ben. Hope that works. Future Person says he has a dislocated finger, so I guess I have no hope. I don't know what that's for. I thought you meant wine class.
Fighting the sickness.
Fighting the sickness. Ricky Cologne, smoking cigarettes, drinking booze, with spare tubular tires over their shoulders. That's the way to do it right there. CJ Byrne, the dad bod comes for even the best of us. You're right, CJ. It's coming after Anthony right now.
So even the worst of
HM
us.
says, nice deal, lol. Bait Addict, no, I'm late. It's a time change. Messed you up, bud.
Missed it.
Hector, any tips on removing real fine paint overspray from black plastic parts? Unfortunately, dude, no. I used to use a razor blade. And I literally scratch the plastic with the razor blade. Just at a 90-degree angle
Yeah.
to break that stuff up. Andy White, just in time for the end. Now I have to go start at the beginning. Have a great night, guys. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. Future Prison says, Levi, you're 100% on the money. We're having issues with new staff, management doing things their way when they have no idea how we work. You're right. And for me, at my shop, the biggest thing was I built this SOP because I needed to look out the door, see what my guys were doing, and know exactly where they were, how much longer they had left on each vehicle, just by looking at where they were. So if I took it in that sense, Dane, if I came in and said, Dane, where are you at on your video? And you'd say, oh, I've still got to do this. It's still got, name like 4 steps. It's got to render. You still got to write a description. It's got to, you got 2 or 3 things left. I would know from that, I could go, sweet, you have, this many hours or whatever left on the video. If I came in and just said, Dane, where you at? And you're like, I'm just working on this, or I'm in the middle of it. And you're like, okay, so are you in the middle of finishing? And you're like, well, I'm looking at the middle of footage, but I haven't organized anything and I haven't built my timeline yet.
Yeah.
I would go, why didn't you do what? But I thought you were supposed to do it this way. Then I have no frame of reference for the timeline as to where it's going to go or how long it's going to get done.
Here is where the massive distinction is, the part that I was getting at, which is why I was being a little headstrong on that stuff, was the difference between having an employer versus having a client. And that is something that is a big difference, because if I'm an employee, yes, I got to do stuff their way. But
That's
if
what
I'm
saying. He's
if
getting a
I'm
job
being
at a
hired for
detail
like
shop.
a video job, and like a local newspaper says,
Right.
oh, for our website, we want you to make this video. We saw the way you
that's
made
totally
your stuff.
different.
Do that. Then I'm going to do
They're
that.
hiring for you.
Right,
But if
yeah.
you're going to get a job somewhere, which is what this guy's doing,
Yeah.
he's not being hired as a client.
No.
He's being hired as an employee.
Correct.
That's why I was saying you've
And
got
that's
to be
where,
this way.
yes, take your advice.
Yeah.
Don't try and change things your first day on the job, because they will not take that.
So
It's better for you and
get
better
to
for
learn
them
it,
if you give it
and,
some time under your
that
belt
way you
first.
can do that. Yeah. Bait Addict also really enjoyed coming down to the training with you guys, and Ivan was such a steal at $50 in the free stuff. Explain to us, Dane, at what moment do you think that vehicle is something I should buy? Lol. At what moment did you think that vehicle is something I should buy?
Well, the beauty was, from the Montero to the Mazda, it wasn't so much a question of, oh, yes, I should go buy that. It was, what can I trade this Montero for that will be better than this Montero?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, sure enough, got the truck and didn't realize the head issue until after I fixed the other things that would normally cause a rough idle. Because it was running. It just, had some little things, and then you find out down the road, oh, crap.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Bait Addict, I really love that time when you and Anthony were doing the donuts in the Suburban that night, on that day. That was pretty cool. Really fun of you to, do that with him,
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Lawrence Gamble says, looking through Levi's SOP now, they make sense. Between these and Ivan's efficiency info, I'm learning heaps. And then Future Prince says, thanks, guys. Have a great day, night. See you next week. Beta X says, I can no longer stay at Dane's house. C-Max plus that truck. I think that negates the Jag.
You know what? I want to hear what you would suggest. And if it's anything that has horrible, horrible maintenance nightmares attached to it, then why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Did you tell them all what's the current situation of the Beta? We got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk
The C-Max
about,
has been dead reliable. Nothing wrong
I don't know if you wanted to talk about the truck.
Yeah,
current
so the
situation.
truck, it's
This
had a
last
rough
few
idle,
minutes.
so I ran down the list of all the things that could cause a rough idle, and as anybody
Boom.
knows, you can't nail it at one thing. So you just start fixing stuff as you go, and you're like, well, maybe this will do it, maybe this will do it. Change the plugs. first.
Question, Dane.
Yes.
When you bought that truck, what was the first thing I said to you?
You wanted me to lower it and put wheels on it.
No, I said, don't try and do it yourself. Take it to the mechanic right off the bat and get it checked out. And you said, I think I'm going to do all these things first. And I said, maybe go to the mechanic first, and then you can at least see what you need to fix, and then you'll have a list to start working on it. And you said, no, I'm just going to start working on this.
Yeah. No. I replaced the spark plugs because I was confident, having had the Miata do something similar. I was like, okay, rough idle, first thing you do, change out the plugs, check the connectors,
Understood.
replace the wires.
Understood, yeah.
Just makes sense. If that doesn't do it, then I start scratching my head going, oh, okay, it's not that, huh? Maybe something else.
Yep.
Well, the first thing I learned was that the actual, order, firing order and stuff, the ignition coil had a different order than the way the person had them plugged in. I was like, oh, they plugged them in wrong. So then I went and redid it according to a guide online, which then turned out was from a Haynes or a Chilton manual, except you have to flip it 180 degrees based on whether it was before or after a certain year. So it just got more and more confusing. But it's a Mazda B3000. It's a Ford Ranger underneath. Super common truck. Lots of parts available. That's why I got it, because I thought, the worst that could happen is, I need to change out some cheap parts, right? Yes, of course I would get a Toyota Tacoma if it was down to that. I was looking at that and I was like, oh yeah, but you know what? You're not going to find a decent one for the price range that you find the other stuff. And I get, they're going to go, that's why it's better. I get that.
G. Davis has a great little Tacoma.
That's just the way those
It's
things
very nice
go.
Tacoma, yeah.
So I won't go down that rabbit hole, but just dealing with it.
Anyways, guys.
G. Davis has texted me and says, shout out from the Yucatan Peninsula, watching on my phone.
Wow,
buddy,
that's a true
enjoy
fan
your
right there.
trip. Ooh,
Perfect.
Okay. Are we done?
I guess so.
I guess YouTube crashed.
All right. Well, guys.
I guess YouTube got the coronavirus.
See ya.
All right, see ya.
People are going to come back on. And go,
Yep.
no.
It's just gonna.